Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. Happy Friday. We are also on multi-stream this afternoon. Henry talks Tottenham. Henry Wright is also with us. It's great to see you, Henry. How are you, my man? How you doing? Long time.
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I know there's about 800 people in the Spurs Talk Show group chat, but it's good to have the main people back on, isn't it? No, I'm only taking the piss. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Fat Shady's back on screen, which is good.
Who?
And yeah,
Fat Shady.
Yeah, that's what one of my subscribers calls me.
Oh, nice.
I thought that was quite funny. But yeah, how's things with you?
All right, mate. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Listen, I've been a little bit dry of the old Bombers, but a couple of Bombers are percolating. New names to talk about this afternoon. A player that I have, and the Spurs Talk Show side of this multi-streams chiddly chit-chat have been talking about for a long time in Udogie and Mikautadze. The old Georgian Robbie Keane, he's on the list according to Paul O'Keefe. We've also got stories out regarding Conor Gallagher, potentially on his way to Turkey on loan. Don't know about that. Don't know if he needs the hair transplant, and his teeth look pretty good. So I don't know. It makes no sense, but it's there to talk about. How about Ivan Toney? Links to him. He's been arrested. He's got his court date now for a fray. Been charged with a fray from some sort of nightclub bust-up. So what does that mean for everything? We've also got stories regarding Bilal El Khannouss. Lots of things to talk about. And I'm here with Henry to talk about it. Guys, in the chat, before we get going, smash the like. Hit the subscribe. Notification button should be squeezed. Comments should be dropped. And you need to be making your way from my show over to Henry's at some point to make sure you smash the like and subscribe over there if you're over that way. And if you are over that way and you haven't already, then ideally come over here to Spurs Talk Show and smash a like and subscribe as the band is back together. Let me drop both. Let me drop both little links in the chilly chit chat. Before we get into it as well, guys, OK Jersey, just quick channel sponsor. Sean 10 at checkout gets you 10% off. You know the drill. Go over there, go a size or two up depending on your shapeliness, and make sure that you put in code Sean 10 at checkout. They've got the new gear, the old gear, the retro gear, the Jeremy Jacquets. They've got everything. Don't forget Spurs Hub as well, your one-stop shop for all your fan content. Henry, I mean, how have you felt? Let's start with, before we get into the specifics today, how have you felt about the window thus far, mate? Like, everyone's saying it's the best window ever, but it's also on the verge of being a shit window if we don't get the forward line fixed. Where are you at, mate? Where are you at?
I think defense, I'll break it down into three sort of areas: the defense, the midfield, and the attack. I think defensively, we've recruited really well. Really well. Van Hecke and Senesi, two of the better centre-backs outside of the so-called Big Six clubs. One of them was a free, one of them was a bit expensive when he had a year left, but ultimately the position we're in is the position we're in, right? So I think Van Hecke and Senesi are very good. I think Robertson as a left-back's a decent signing, free transfer. I think Kinsky has been, the fact that he's our number one next season, I think will be very, very good as well. And right-backs, we're pretty much sorted with Spence and Porro. Centre mids, the CMs, we've recruited well again with Tonali and Fernandes. Little bit, and when I say little bit, it's we have overpaid for both players, but ultimately we can't offer European football. We can't offer, we're not competing at the top. We were competing at the bottom for a reason. Yeah, I do question about who's going to be the backups to those centre mids because we've still got Berghvall, Benson Core, Pape Sarr, and Conor Gallagher, which means we've got 6 CMs. As expression said, we've got more CMs than a ruler. And then I look at the final third of the pitch. I look at that front line, and this is where we're going to have our issues. We had a lot to do, right? We finished 17th back-to-back. We nearly got relegated last year. We stayed up on the final day of the season. But that front line requires major surgery. Tel's been good in pre-season, but Richalison and Dom Solanke are nowhere near the level. We can all agree we need a number 9. Right, that is the priority. The left winger and the number 9. The right winger, I don't think Kulusevski will be back soon. I know he's back on grass. He's sprinting, but he's got to get used to tackles again. He's got to get used to, physical play. So I think we only really have one right winger until, I'd say October, maybe November, until Kulusevski's back in.
Who's the right winger that we have?
Huh?
Who's the right winger that you think we have until
Kudus. I think Kudus will be back.
Is he even fit? Is he back? I've got no idea.
I think he'll be back September, which means I think the front three for the Brentford game could be Tel, Solanke, and Richarlison if we don't recruit anyone by then. Bearing in mind, it's next weekend is the Community Shield. The following weekend, the Premier League starts.
Yeah,
so we have 15 days to bring in a left winger and a striker. And maybe a right winger. I do want to see, just getting on to pre-season quickly, I want to see Williams Barnett give him more game time. It's clear to see that Mikey Moore isn't in the short-term plan of this football club. He might be in the long-term plan, but the fact that he's had a loan at Rangers...
I agree with that. I spend a lot of time, Henry, with Johnny H, right? And he fucking loves a little bit of Mikey Moore.
Oh, Mr. Worldwide. Every time I go on Instagram, he's in a new fucking city. He's in more cities than fucking Lady Gaga. I've never seen anything like it.
The world tour is resumed. You know, but he absolutely loves Mikey Moore. I think he's a little bit like. I think he almost feels a little bit like it's a father-like stuff. I don't know what. He's got a few players that he seems to just have like. And there's no disrespect to him because I love Johnny's pieces, but he has a lot of time for certain players, and I think it's because of relationships that he has with people outside of sort of YouTube or whatever. And so I feel like he needs to back him. But like he talks about Mikey Moore like he's something spectacular. I don't see it, mate. Of all of the players that I'm okay seeing sold from the youth team, like Mikey Moore is one of them. I don't. If you can get 30 million quid for Mikey Moore, I probably would be more okay with doing that than I would. Believe it or not, it sounds weird, but I actually had more time for Will Lancashire and what I thought he could bring to us than what I think of Mikey Moore personally. Nothing against him, because I know he hasn't had that many opportunities, but I just don't think he's done too much.
Do you not think there's a reason why he hasn't had the opportunities? If the club are looking at Williams Barnett, who's younger, right, he's a year younger, he hasn't got the development of a Mikey Moore, who's played at Rangers and now going out to the Bundesliga, right? This Williams Barnett kid, in 2 or 3 pre-season games, like that penalty against out in Australia, like the composures do that, the Banksy spray against bloody MK Dons, the 60-yard pass that was direct. Mikey Moore doesn't have that in his locker from what we've seen. So, like... No. If a bid come in, I wouldn't be at all upset if we did sell him. I would want a sell-on clause though, because what I think we have done well with the Vazukovic or Vaskovic, however the fuck you say his name, is we've added a sell-on clause in there. Brighton will sell that guy.
I don't think it's either of those ways of saying it.
How do you say it? Whatever his name is, he will. Brighton will sell that guy in 2 years for 70, 80 million quid. I tell you now,
yeah, of course,
100%. Brighton, and we'll probably get, 14, 15, 20 million quid of that. But I think recruitment-wise, and I think pre-season we have done well. There are red flags still, though. We can't go into the Brentford game, which is going to be tough, late kickoff on a Saturday, with Dom, Solanke and Richarlison in that front line. I'll be honest with you, I would have, and this is quite a bit, I wouldn't say it's controversial, but I would rather brought a striker in and keep Lancashire and get rid of both of those two.
Yeah, same.
If you offer me like 20 million quid, Richarlison goes back to Everton or he goes Juventus, and then Dom Solanke goes on loan to fucking Forest, and we would have brought in this Georgian Sofa, whatever his name is, or Garasi, if we would have brought both of those one of those in, or a Marmouche, I'd be like, right, okay, we're cooking. Because if we would have started that Brentford game with Marmouche, Tel, and maybe Savinho, it's a completely different attacking dynamic, because at the moment we haven't really got a wide player fit who can beat his man. That's what Savinho can bring in, and we haven't got a finisher. Like Solanke scored 3 goals last year. Romero scored more Premier League goals than bloody Solanke did, other than a little bicycle kick he scored against Man City. Well, not even a bicycle kick, a bloody scorpion kick. The geezer was irrelevant.
Yeah, I don't rate either of them. I've always given more time to Solanke than Richarlison. I never wanted Richarlison ever, right? Anyone can check the tapes on that. Even before he played his first game, I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And at that price point, like, gee whiz. Dom Solanke, I was a little bit more optimistic around. And I definitely sort of stood up to the notion. I do think that he had a tough couple of years at Tottenham. Like, I don't feel like the first season under... that he had under Ange Postecoglou. I think he was asked to play a little bit of the sacrificial lamb, Like where I think his movement was largely responsible for a lot of the goals that went in Brennan Johnson's direction. Richarlison is capable of like moments, but he gets himself in a lot of positions. My problem with Richarlison is that the entire team has to adapt their style to accommodate him, and his level isn't good enough to accommodate. He does work hard, but he rolls around on the floor. He's always looking grumpy. His injuries are not exactly non-problematic. Solanke's injuries are also problematic. I think Solanke's a little bit of a wet girl's blouse. A big girl's blouse, a wet blanket. I mixed two analogies there. I feel like, you know, if you're missing a North London derby because you've got a sore throat, something's wrong with you. If you're into anime and wearing fucking, like, I don't know, Neo from fucking, from
whatever that fucking Hadouken
whatever
shit
his
is, mate.
style is. I don't know. I just feel like and that's where I feel like you need a bit of a different style, a bit of nastiness, a little bit of a personality that is selfish and just single-minded as a striker to really get yourself to that level. And I don't think he has it. I think he's just a little bit of a nice guy. A bit like Brennan Johnson was a mummy's boy, or at least accused of being that way. I feel like Solanke, to another extent, is that sort of style of personality as well. So there's problems with both. I'd like to see someone better coming in, but the rumours are out there today, mate, that there's like 5 clubs that are now suddenly, all of a sudden today, coming in for Solanke and for Richarlison, and there's potential movement on both of them. We're going to save this story for much later, but if there's stories about Conor Gallagher maybe being asked to leave, which we'll come to later in the story, like, you've got to imagine that Tottenham are like making moves in the 9 months, like for anybody in the front line to be leaving, right? If you're going to let Mikey Moore go out on loan to FC Köln before Tottenham have got another winger coming in, or they know for sure they're going to get one, that is problematic. If you're going to let go of Richarlison or Solanke, even though we all would probably be okay with them leaving, it's on the premise that people are coming in, right? And I don't know if you can sell before you can buy at the moment in the front end, because like, we're getting held hostage by other teams' demands with regards Gakpo and Savinho. Those types of teams are not interested in selling to us until they found a replacement, which is part of the problem with trying to create trades with teams that are traditionally bigger than us. They're not going to march to the beat of our drum. You know what I mean? So I just feel like there's massive problems. I agree with you at the top end of the park. Injuries are a nightmare. We've got to talk about Maddison as well, who's got out with another hip problem. And you're right, at the moment, the starting front 3 is, and possibly the starting front 4, by the way, possibly the starting front 4 is a 17-year-old in Luca Williams-Barnett, Mathys Tel, who I love, but everyone else seems to have a problem with, one of those 2 donkeys at the top, and on the right-hand side, at the moment, it would be Manor fucking Solomon. Like, I don't, like, what the hell is going on with 15 days until the window starts, until the season starts?
Do you think there's a chance that Gallagher does leave? Because I think he signed in January, right? He's on £200,000 a week, right? Besiktas have a lot of money. We spoke about this yesterday on the phone. A lot of these UAE bankers and politicians and royal family are buying up a lot of the clubs in Turkey. So there is different rules and regulations over there. Hence why Victor Osimhen is on 300 grand a week. There's no way, from a tax perspective, we could pay him 300 grand a week take home. We'd have to pay him something like 500 grand a week, which is just not going to happen. Hence why no one has gone for Osimhen. Like, I don't think Gallagher will leave. My prediction from a centre midfield perspective, I think Sarr and Berghvall both go. I think Sarr will go on loan. I think Berghvall will leave permanently, which would leave us with Fernandes, Bentancur, Gallagher, Tonali, those 4. Yeah, and I think Gray will be again, if Spence leaves, I said this yesterday, I think Archie Gray will be one of these players where he just fills in everywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
I hear you on that, but like, I mean, but like, you would, if Pedro Porro stays fit, then Gray's going to come off the bench occasionally and play there late in games, or he's going to come into the bench. Like, by the way, not to get off topic, because we're bouncing around here. I think we're just like fucking excited school children, Henry, because we haven't spoken to each other on a stream for like the last year.
Mate, we're bang on the marching powder on a Friday night in the pub, mate. We're bouncing off the ceiling, and one minute we're on the pool table, then we're trying to crack on with a couple of birds, then we're back at the bar. We're all over the gap.
ADHD down the bar on a little couple of
That's it, mate.
Yeah,
got the attention span of a mouse.
Yeah, there's absolutely no chance that any of us are going to be able to clip up this stream and make sense of the clips. Every 3 minutes we're bouncing around. But if Jed Spence leaves, like, It would just be written in the stars that the moment that he leaves, Mr. Unbreakable, Pedro Porro, comes down with a hamstring injury because he's had a 70-game season or whatever. You know, be a nightmare, wouldn't it? Are you up for selling Jed Spence?
No. I think Porro will get injured at least twice next season. He's played a lot of football. Equally so has Spence, but I think Spence just doesn't pick up. I don't think he's as injury prone as a Porro. But equally, even if Porro doesn't pick up an injury, I don't want to sell him because I think he can be used in other areas. I actually do believe there is a chance he could play right wing in the first game.
Porro.
No, I think Spence can start on the right. Whereas I look at the left, we've got, bloody hell, we've got about 6 players who can play left back. Van der Ven, if push comes to shove, could play at left back. He does for the Netherlands. Ben Davies, Sousa, Udogie, Robertson, Spence.
Yeah.
We've got more players who can play at left back than we have forwards that are fit.
Twice over.
I do think we really need to keep hold of Spence. 35 million is taking the piss. Again, 35 million for Romero as well. He's taking the piss. I think.
Yeah, but don't you think that I was listening to Gary Neville on a podcast who was saying that someone asked the question, what would you peak version of yourself be worth in today's market? And Ian Wright was like, probably 80 million, maybe 100 million if I...
Nah, Ian Wright would be worth more than that. Gary Neville thinks he's only a 40 million pound player. This is a geezer who won 8 league titles.
That Ian Wright's a 40 million pound player.
No, he thought himself. Gary
Neville scored 20 goals a season.
Gary Neville? You mean Ian Wright?
Sorry. I thought you were talking about Gary Lineker for something.
I've seen that they're in the back of a taxi and he goes, Carragher thinks he'd be worth 60 million. I think he'd probably be worth more.
But Gary Neville justified that by saying right backs are the cheapest position in football because I personally think that right backs are one of the most important positions in football
nowadays. Yeah.
But he's saying that you don't really get. What is that? Is there an echo?
No.
I can hear an echo. He's saying that you don't really get. There's definitely a fucking echo. Can you hear it?
But now.
Hello? Yeah, I can still hear it. Talk to me.
Well, we're live on Spurs Talk Show. It's a nice little... I think it was saying big echo. Is it me? Is it you?
I think it's... Is it gone now? Yeah, back in the game. Back in the game now. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah, Gary Neville saying that £40 million for a right back. You don't really get people that go like right backs that go for that much money, and I think he's got a point, right? Apart from Kyle Walker that left for like 50 million from us, whatever it was, 15 years ago. Apart from that, you don't really get too many right backs that go for that much money. On that basis, I kind of went, oh, fair enough. That's a good point. I hadn't thought of it that way. Maybe Jed Spence's valuation is sort of limited to around that price then. So if you could get 40 million quid for him...
But Gary Neville's argument is because he only really played he played centre-back and right-back. Nowadays, full-backs... Like, Hakimi would be 100 million in today's market. Nuno Mendes, who's a left-back, would also be 100 million. Like, what would... If you could get a fully fit Reece James, he'd be worth more than 40 million. He'd be a 60, 70, 80 million pound player.
Yeah, possibly. Like, if he wasn't injured all the time. Yeah.
Like, I do think that... I think... Spence 35 million because he can play left back, right back, and potentially wing. Surely he's worth more than 35 million quid. I mean, Liverpool paid 40 million for Kirkes last summer, so surely he's worth more.
How much did they pay for Frimpong?
45 million euros,
right,
so like 38 million quid.
Okay.
And bearing in mind he's homegrown.
Yeah, he is homegrown. So what's the right price point for Jed Spence then?
In this market, 50 million, 55 million. Like Cucurella was sold for 60 million to Chelsea 3 years ago. The market, this transfer market in isolation is ludicrous. You got to pay 116 million for Elliot Anderson, and the geezer's never played in the Champions League.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Like you're paying 85 million for Fernandes. Fernandes is not an 85 million player. He's a 50, 60 million player.
Yeah. Yeah, he is, yeah. And by the way, we get back to this this sort of narrative of what we're doing in the market here. I've spoken to loads of people when I go and take my dog for a walk, and loads of people are saying to me, you know, oh, look, the front line is screwed, but our midfield is brilliant, and our defence is brilliant. Like, if we get an injury to, like, I think people are assuming that Tonali and Fernandes are not going to get injured at Tottenham. Like, based on our sort of track record, it won't be long before Fernandes or Tonali has a period out this season.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're going to pick up knocks, and then what happens then? Like, if we're talking about selling Pape Sarr and Bentancur and Berghvall, I put this out to the. Well, we are going to come back to the forward line in a minute. We're jumping around here like fucking a hopscotch. But if we, would you be on board this narrative of trying to sign an Adam Wharton or a Alex Scott or someone like that to be able to sort of mix in either then that can allow Adam Wharton and sort of Tonali to play the double pivot and Matheus Fernandes to sort of crunch up the field a little bit more, or if not an Adam Wharton, then like an Alex Scott or a Gibbs White or one of these types of players that can sometimes fit into the 8 if necessary if there's an injury, but ultimately can also do a little bit of support work in the 10 role, or even hang off the right-hand side in the case of Morgan Gibbs White.
Yeah, I think Gibbs White should be the priority. We don't have enough goals from midfield. Like, as great as Adam Wharton is, Crystal Palace are going to want 100 plus. We're not going to go in and pay 100 million for Adam Wharton, 120 million. Like, if Elliot Anderson is 115, 16, Adam Wharton's 100. So, in terms of our priority, Gallagher can play a little bit deeper at times. Tonali's very good at recovery because he's got energy levels of a flipping stallion. And Fernandes is great at breaking up play. So we already have kind of 3 plus Bentancur players that can do that, just not at the Wharton level. We don't have a Gibbs White. Like, I see a lot of people on my Instagram video the other day saying Maddison's clear of Gibbs White. I don't think he is. Gibbs White last year got 24, 25.
Who's clear of Gibbs White?
People on my Instagram were saying the other day, because I was replied to a comment saying we should go after Gibbs White. And they were saying that they think Maddison's better. And I said, well, Maddison's barely played in the last year. Now, today we found out he's got a hip injury. Gibbs White's coming off the back of a 25 goal contribution season, who brings leadership to our squad. That we don't really have a squad of leaders because he's been the captain at Forest. Plus, his goal record's very, very good. He's very good at set pieces. He's versatile. He's got... he's a bit of a shithouse as well. Like, he can wire and play. That's another thing. We mentioned it briefly earlier. We don't really have a bastard in our team. Romero is that player, but he's going to go to Spain. So we don't have anyone where it comes down to these big matches where it's on a knife edge who can tip the balance in our way from arguing and getting a player sent off, or, you know, winding someone up and then 5 minutes later that player's on a yellow card. Like, Gibbs White brings a lot more than just his quality on the ball. He also works incredibly hard. Like, his off the ball work rate is a lot higher than Maddison's. I don't think Maddison comes in and plays more than 20 league games this season. So for the other 18,
at the moment, he never plays more than 20 league games a season. And at the moment, he's on the back of an ACL, which will flare up at some point. It always does. And now he's got a fucking hip flexor problem, which is if you get a problem with your hip, they're out for a month, right? And you're rebalancing your. Huh?
I said if he's got a problem with his hip, he's out for at least a month, probably more like 2 or 3.
So as it stands right now, we're gonna have Conor Gallagher, who I don't even fucking rate as a 10. I know he's a hard-working guy, but I don't think he's got that sort of that footwork and the creativity gene. He's like an 8 that can play a little bit anywhere, right? But I don't want to see him playing in the 10. I want to see him playing in the 8 or having a flat 3 and a flat 3 if that's what they want to do, and let people just sort of, you know, stick to your patterns and your positions, but essentially just sort of be dynamic and fluid and allow him to do his thing. But for me, like, if you want someone in that 10 who's creativity first for the starting games of the season, like, at the moment, I probably would say I'd rather have Luca Williams-Barnett, who's 17 years old, mate. You know, and don't get me wrong, he looks sensational, but you can't put that sort of, it's the same sort of thing as putting that pressure on Max Dowman. You want to give him 10 minutes here and there, see what he can do when you're 2-0 up, you know, at home with 80 minutes on the clock where there's little pressure, and let him sort of float around and sort of pick up the ball in the transition when the other teams are going gung-ho. You don't really want to throw him into the meat grinder straight away at the start of the season, but it looks like that's what we're going to have to do unless we have wholesale changes at the top end of the park. And there are obviously these names that are dropping today, but my question about all of that is that we heard from De Zerbi a couple of weeks ago that all of the shortlisted players were decided in March before he even joined. They sat down and said, no, all of the players that we're going to look to buy, we've already decided who they are. But now today we're getting players like Bilal El Khannouss and Udogie Mikautadze on the list, which are not names. I mean, they are names that we've been linked with in the past, but they're not names exactly that anyone's heard from a Tottenham perspective in the last 12 months. And so, are those stories true? And if so, cool, because I fucking love both of them. Do you know much about Bilal El Khannouss, the ex-Leicester player who went over to Stuttgart? He went on loan and he's just been made a permanent deal over there. They signed a permanent deal in May.
Weren't PSG looking at him for a while?
Yeah, I think.
Or is that was it PSG or is it Bayern Munich? Some big club was looking at him. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know a massive amount about him, but you know, from what you're saying and of people in the chat, I mean, he's a better option than what we've got, right?
Well, El Khannouss is a 10. He was at Leicester, right?
And is he the left winger?
No, he plays a 10, but he can hang off the right a little bit. He plays for Morocco. So he was at the World Cup, but Moroccans there's a lot of talent in the Moroccan team, isn't there? But El Khannouss he's about 5'11". He's quite big, he's quite sturdy, but he's got amazing footwork. But he's everything about him. When I saw him, when I first did the links review on him, I watched him when he was at Leicester, and I was like, don't really know. Like he's not. I'd much rather have a Xavi Simons or someone like that, someone that's a bit more proven, because he was in the Championship. But it was a lot of flicks, a lot of unnecessary sort of like highlight reel moments with some good output and stuff. Then he went to Stuttgart and he smashed it last year. And he was like number 1 in the top 5 leagues for key passes, for touches in the box, for passes in the box, for like he's right up there for those sorts of things.
What's he going to be like? What do you think he's worth?
I'd say like maybe 40 million, something like that, right? But like he's a young guy. He's 22 years old, I think, and. But he looks like he's really matured. Like I was against signing him last summer, and then I looked at him this morning on the Y Scout, and I was like, fucking hell! Like he's really starting to mature. Like his decision making looks better. He's strong. He's stocky, but he's got amazing footwork, and he still does a little bit of that flair stuff, a little bit too much. You know, over eggs the pudding. But you can see that he's sort of winding it out of his game. He's very versatile as well. And like I say, for me, I think that Tottenham needs someone that can be a 10. And then if the 10 is fixed with Maddison gets back and Xavi Simons gets back, then you have a lot of options there. But he can also hang off the right-hand side if necessary to add value out there, because he can do all of the things that a right winger can do in the way that we want to do it. And he's brilliant at crossing, right? He gets the ball where it needs to be. His cross completion ratio was really high, and his aerial wins were really high. Like he was scoring goals with his head, like good positional sense as well when he was drifting late into the box. So for me, El Khannouss is someone that didn't want last year, but I'm sort of updating my opinion a little bit on him, and those links are quite interesting. But I need to see people saying to me, Henry, like, oh, we just need a left winger and a striker, and then maybe someone else. I think that a 10/right winger option is super important as well, because like you said at the start, like I don't want Manuel Solomon being our only recognised right wing. I know disrespect. I think the guy's he's never let us down when he's played, but I just don't think he's of the standard. And then obviously everybody else is on the right wing are injury prone, right? Odegaard.
Do you think he'll go to West Ham?
Solomon. I don't know, mate. I feel like whatever happened over the last couple of days, they were interested. I've been saying for the last few weeks, he'd be great for West Ham. He'd be absolutely great, right? If they can get him for 10 million or whatever. He scored 20 goals, didn't he, for Leeds when they were in the Championship and got them promoted again. So like, there's every reason to think he'd do brilliantly for them. But apparently the West Ham fans have like looked into him and decided that they don't want him because of his. I don't even want to talk about it. It's a bit sensitive, isn't it? But like,
other reasons outside of football.
Other reasons, yeah, non-footballing reasons. Which from what I understand of it, just from my take, like I don't think he's done anything particularly wrong. I think he's just standing up for his country, and I don't think he. You know, I think that everything he said that people were thinking is controversial after the fact, I think that they said it. I think he only said those things when after October the 7th initially happened. I don't think he's really chimed in too much in the last year or so when the public opinion on that whole thing has sort of shifted a little bit. So I don't. I think it's a little bit harsh. I think it's a little bit harsh, personally. What's that?
That guy in the chat said West Ham sources Solomon. Says he's signing for West Ham tomorrow. Is that ex-West Ham employee bloke?
Yeah, the ex-West Ham said that they were going to do it for £5 million, but then the outrage from the West Ham fans meant West Ham sort of paused for thought on it. I don't know. Like, listen, politics and football, it shouldn't mix, but it does all the time, doesn't it? You know, and but like, if not, I think that he could do a good job for Leeds again. Like personally, I think Leeds loved him. The Leeds fan base took to him very much, and he probably
Leeds have recruited well, by the way.
Yeah,
They've got that. They've got Trafford from City, and they've got Harry Wilson so far. They're two players that slot straight into their team. Harry Wilson's the one I think we should have took a gamble on. Free transfer.
Yeah.
Could have had him for a year or two, and then sold him on for fucking 20, 30 million quid. But we didn't. You know?
Yeah. Listen, guys, whoever's just said that in the chat, or Teray or whatever, mate, bro, this is a football channel, mate. I've timed you out because I know you're a regular in here, but I'm not going to block you, mate. But leave all that shit alone, please. It's a football channel, mate. So I shouldn't even mention it. But listen, we're talking about Solomon. We just meant the reason why he hasn't gone to West Ham yet is because of things outside of football. As a football talent, I think he would do really well in the Championship for them. And I, for what it's worth, Henry, just to finish off that conversation, if we're talking about another price point that seems undervalued in this market, £5 million for Solomon seems like a bargain for anyone who's got the stones to.
Yeah, I think 15, maybe 15 million of add-ons. If Radu Dragushin's 20 million, I think Solomon's 15, 20.
Yeah.
And Radu Dragushin he's absolutely horrendous. The geezer's flipping Canary Wharf on bloody football boots. He's absolutely fucking hilarious watching him play. But yeah, I mean, what's your thoughts on, the last sort of, I know we'll come back to transfers in a minute. What's your thoughts on like the Getafe game and the Hoffenheim in 2 games in 24 hours? Because do you think that's a big enough test going into the start of the Premier League season? Like Man United have played, they're going to play PSG, AC Milan and Atletico Madrid. Like Chelsea have played Juventus, us, and someone else. I think City have got a similar pre-season to us. They're playing like the Korean League All-Stars as Juventus, and then they go into like another game. But like, is that a tough enough test to really?
No, I think the pre-season's been fucking toilet. I think it's been toilet. I understand the need to make money. I understand that those tours are very lucrative, and I definitely understand the need to, or the desire from Tottenham fans from that part of the world to want to see their team up front. I've got no issue with any of that, but. And I guess it's like where the rubber meets the road is, just like from a footballing perspective, I don't think playing against MK Dons at a training ground, flying all the way around the world, and then playing Auckland team whose best players were still on their World Cup break, and then Sydney. I mean, even Chelsea, and De Zerbi looked like he gave it about the bare minimum of amount of respect that he had to give.
Yeah, like other than
he didn't play anybody of any note.
I just don't see the benefit of playing fucking Western Australia, whatever they're called, Western Sydney. Like the Chelsea game is the closest we've got, and they rested a lot of players, and we don't have a lot of players back. Like I think the last 2 pre-season games should have been a Bayern Munich or something like a Sevilla or a Valencia from Spain. Like. Yeah. I don't really see the benefit of now playing Hoffenheim twice. Where
I don't get that. And the Getafe game is also behind closed doors at the training ground, right?
Yeah. So only one of the Hoffenheim games at the stadium as well. The other one's behind closed doors.
Yeah, which one's the one first? Is it Hoffenheim tomorrow? No, it's Getafe
tomorrow. Getafe tomorrow, and then it's next Saturday's Hoffenheim at the stadium, and then the Sunday's Hoffenheim at the training ground.
Yeah, it's mental. So again, you're not going to play your first team squad together in any game at all. If you're going to play Getafe at the training ground, what the fuck value is it for them? Like their fans are going to sit there and go like, we can't watch the game. Why not just play against Barnet if that's what you want? But you're 4 games into a 6-game pre-season and you've played 1 competitive team. And by the way, that game
Aston Villa played Bayern Munich today.
Who are?
Aston Villa played Bayern Munich today. Then they've got the Super Cup next Wednesday, and then their last friendly is against Mönchengladbach. Like Bayern Munich and Mönchengladbach, a bigger test than fucking Western Sydney and MK Dons.
Yeah, do any of us ones and zeros in the chat? One if you think that if you can take anything away from the pre-season thus far. 0 if you think in terms of being able to feel confident in what patterns of play dynamic relationships, performances. You know, like I'm sitting here saying Mathys Tel is going to be, you know, breaking records this year for the biggest redemption arc in the history.
You're fucking dying on that hill, aren't you?
Ah, damn, mate, I've got the sword. I'm swallowing the sword all the time. But like, I'm basing that off, and I'll own it. Like, I'm basing it off of a pre-season in which he's played against nobodies. Like, no disrespect.
What is it about Tel, by the way? Like, what, like, all joke, I see you in that chat. I'm always like lurking in the background. I'm like a praying mantis. But like, whenever I look in that chat, like the Tel debate is it's so divided, isn't it? In terms of like, you're either fully on his side or you're not.
Yeah.
There's no like, oh, okay, he might improve. You're either you want him in or you want him out. Like, what? Can I break that down? Like, are you just going to be going, I fucking told you all, right?
Well,
you all doubted me, Nigel Farage, mate. No, you're not laughing now. Like, is it just one of those, or do you actually?
No, I think it started with the fact that I saw the flip-floppery in the fan base, right? It was the January the 29th, 2025, and Mathys Tel to Tottenham is close. It's about to be a here we go, and everybody's like, fucking hell, what we got an unbelievable talent here. And then suddenly it was, it's a loan only then it was Man United are gonna hijack it. And then all the Tottenham fans that just hate on the hierarchy and everything were like, typical fucking Tottenham, couldn't even get the deal done, same old bollocks, whatever, blah blah blah. And then I remember people, and then he suddenly it's back on at Tottenham again, but it's a loan, and the condition on making it permanent was based on Mathys Tel's willingness to be here, and everybody who was like, you see, he's going to go to United. Well, now it's back on again. Well, no, but he's now just using us to get to a launch pad. So everybody was on paper with it. I remember Robbie Lyle of AFTV going, how are Tottenham signing him? We should be signing him. And I remember Mark Goldbridge going, Mathys Tel to Tottenham. Like everybody universally was like, wow, wow, wow. Then suddenly he comes in to a shit team. He works his fucking socks off. And to me, like if you work your socks off, like you'll always get a backing from me, even if you show the will, even if your skill level isn't there, I'll still respect it. Obviously, you want to have will and the skill combo. But I saw something, but everybody just sort of launched at him. And maybe it's a bit of the contrarian in me. Plus, like, I like rooting for the underdog. But, like, and I saw something in him that I want to see him succeed. Because I also know that he's someone that takes a lot of fucking shit all the time. And yet he sort of tries to put on a brave face and, like, you know, keeps his chin up and stuff. And I respect that. But I genuinely see that he's getting better and better. But I just felt like everybody else dies on the hill that he's shit. When people talk about all of our problems last season and then naming the players that are part of the problem, the first name off their lips was always Mathys Tel. And I'm like, where? How are you coming? Why is he your go-to donkey to hit? It's unfair. It's unreasonable. Like, he puts in the shift. And people were manipulating the argument when the stats didn't look good. They were saying, look at the stats. The stats tell you everything. And they were manipulating the stats. They were using the appearances rather than the minutes, because he played like 30 appearances, but he only played the equivalent of about 4 games in minutes because, you know, what's his name? Thomas the Tank Engine was giving him 3 minutes at the end of a fucking game to try to do something. And then when the stats materially like finished in a way where actually he outperformed people like Ndai, he had outperformed Somerville, he outperformed Savinho on the output, and his input was what it was, and people still wouldn't update that. And then their argument was, well, the stats don't mean anything. I've got my eyes. Well, but like, so the stats do mean something to you when they tell the story that you want, but once it doesn't, then suddenly the stats are meaningless. I just saw agendas. And that's when I was like, fuck you. If you're going to have this agenda, I'm going to be the fucking guy who backs him. And I have backed myself into a wall now because, like, ultimately, I am literally connected to Mathys Tel. You know? I hope he fucking knows that this bloke is out there fucking rooting for him. But I do think it's... I don't... If Tottenham want to go and get someone else, if Tottenham brought in someone like, I don't know, Rafael Leao tomorrow that instantly benches Mathys Tel, I'm happy. I'm happy for Tottenham to do better, always. But until that happens, I just don't want to hear this argument that he's like, put him in the same ballpark as Ben Davies, put him in the same ballpark as other players that just are not good enough. Yet people use him as the go-to example of why Tottenham are failing, and I just find it I find it obscenely unreasonable.
Do you think? So what do you think is going to happen, like, to your argument if he, you know, if it goes down like a pint of sick?
It's not going to happen, mate. He's going to score. If he gets the minutes next season, he's going to
How many
get
goals do
30.
you think he'll get next season?
I've had a bet. I think. Well, actually, again, let's do this in the chat. And by the way, there's nearly 1,000 people here. Great to see everybody. Don't forget to get over to Henry. If you're watching this on the Spurs Talk Show, please do get over to Henry Talks Tottenham, to Henry's channel. It's right there, and smash the like and subscribe. Spend a little bit of time over there for the watch hours and all that stuff. But yeah, I'll tell you what I think I'll tell you what I think is reasonable output for him. But G and A, right? G and A, because I think if you're a winger, you should be judged on both. And maybe it shouldn't even be G and A. Maybe it should be XG and XA, because sometimes you're punished by other people's shit shows. But either way, and I'll extend this out. I'll ask you the same question, and we'll put it out to the chat. For people like him, for people like a fully fit Odebear, for people like a fully fit Maddison, for wingers and attacking midfielders, what is the right sort of GA combo in the Premier League where you sit there and you say, fair enough, that's actually a solid output for a young guy to deliver? Because the days of 20 GA from a winger, they're very, very few and far between, right? So I landed on about 13 GA for Mathys Tel. Don't really care about the ratio, but ideally, 6 goals, 7 assists or something like that. I think if you
I think Kate's hit it on the spot. Kate's hit the number. 10 to 15.
Yeah, 10 to 15 GA for me. If you're playing enough minutes to be able to do that, I think that's the right number, right? Anything above 15 and you've had an extraordinarily good season, anything below 10, and it's probably average at best.
So if he exceeds that, if he hits 20,
I'll be.
I mean, who's the last other than Son? Who's the last wide player we've had to hit 20 GA?
We haven't had a winger that's hit 20 GA since, apart from Son in...
Bale.
Yeah, Bale, that was it. When was that? 15 years ago.
So the bar is... the bar other than those two, I wouldn't say is particularly fucking high.
No, when was the last time... Who have we had?
Brennan Johnson?
Yeah.
That was all comps though, wasn't it?
But again, Brennan Johnson was the beneficiary, in my opinion, of other people's hard work.
Yeah, because he was more at the back post rather than beating players and putting in decent balls.
Aaron Lennon. Oh, we don't. And did Moura ever get 20 GA or 15 GA? I don't think so.
So look.
I don't even think we've had a fucking striker apart from Harry Kane that's done it, have we?
His best season for us in all. Do you want it all comps or just Prem?
Just Prem.
Why is transfer market down?
That website needs someone better in there. It's always down. Transfer market's website is always.
He got 20 goals and 15 assists in 152 games. So there is no way he was hitting double seasons.
Who was that? Who you talking about?
Lucas Moura.
Yeah, no chance.
36 GA in 152 games.
Yeah, Bale, Kane, and Son were the three that stand out.
Yeah, so when people say, "Oh, he should be hitting 20 GA," we don't. I don't even remember the last, other than Ericsson, the last midfielder. Ericsson and Dele Alli are the only, I would say, midfielders we've had to get 20 GA probably since maybe Van der Vaart. The bar isn't particularly high when it comes to it. We've just had 2 players that have massively overperformed for us in Son and Kane, and then they become like the barometer of everyone's expectations.
Yeah, there's a lot more people that are a lot more forgiving of Richalison than they are of Mathys Tel. And Richalison's 28, 29 years old, and he's got
fucking toilet.
He's rubbish in my opinion, and like I say, you have to adapt everything to his style. Last season he got 13 GA, I think it was, right? And people that want to sort of people that are unreasonable, that are harsh generally, that are kind of that demand higher standards, they still give him credit, but they won't give but some people think that Mathys Tel needs to deliver 15 to even get like a nod of the cap next season. And this is where I just don't understand. I think it's unreasonable critique of a kid who's just turned 21. To me, I find it odd, but. All that said, mate, if Tottenham wanted to really make me have a fucking semi, go and get Raphael Leao. I don't understand why Tottenham aren't getting Raphael Leao. I think he's someone that is an immediate immediate, and even like
Or
you've
Rashford.
got or Marcus Rashford. Would you take Rashford? Would you?
100%. 100%. We haven't got a top ball striker in terms of like Rashford could get the ball out to 25 yards and put it in the stanchion. We haven't got anyone like that. Plus, he's very good on set pieces. He's very, very, very quick. But Rashford's a confidence player. A lot of players are confidence players, but he's very much a player that will need an arm around him when the going gets tough. I don't know if De Zerbi's that sort of player, sort of manager. De Zerbi's very much run through wall sort of manager. Like, De Zerbi would have loved Højbjerg in this Spurs team.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Would have loved him.
But I don't know if... Like, Rashford last year he got 15 GA in the league, scored an absolute peach of a free kick against Real Madrid to win La Liga for Barcelona, has been linked to so many teams. I don't think he will stay at Man United because, they've still got Ahmad, they've still got, Xerxes, they've still got bloody Sesko, Cunha, Brian Mbeumo, etc. Shea Lacey, who's going to get more game time. I do think he could play as a number 9 for us as well. When you're looking at Richalison and Solanke and you're a defender coming up against them, it's a lot different to looking at Marcus Rashford. Rashford's going to get in behind you and use his pace. Like, as long as you can be strong when Solanke holds up the ball against you, you can pretty much deal with him. Richarlison, you've got to be a lot more strong in the air because he will get chances. But again, he needs 3 or 4 chances to score a header. If you actually look at Richarlison's numbers...
Big up to Adrian there for the stats drop.
Yes, what's that? 247...
That's a goal or an assist every other game, isn't it? In the Premier League.
Yeah,
in the
but
Premier
look at
League,
his...
Adrian, I guess that's in the Premier League, right? That's insane, right?
Look at his numbers in his best seasons at Man United. Like, you can very much tell when he's been in a relationship or without being in a relationship. That's how clear his numbers are. Because you can't go from getting 35 GA to 6. Yeah, that's just absolutely insane. Like, his numbers at Man United.
The London lifestyle's a problem for him.
That's what I'm saying. You need someone to put their arm around him. Like a Poch would be perfect for Rashford.
Make him have like a roommate or something. Keep him at the Spurs lodge.
Yeah.
Give him a fucking curfew.
Yeah. Like if we had Lately King and Pochettino, Rashford would get 30 goals in all comps for us.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to find the season where his Man United stats. Is it 22, 23? Is it this season? What is going on with is transfer market down, or is it just me?
Mate, it's so slow all the time. It's like they're running on fucking 56k dial-up Wi-Fi or whatever. It's like it's so bad.
Someone find Rashford's stats of the 22-23 season. I'm pretty sure it's that season.
Yeah, it's down.
Yeah, he got 30 goals that season, all comps.
Yeah.
Which is insane. The only player we've had do that is Kane and Son. I don't even think Son ever got 30 goals in all comps ever for us. Like, if you get that Marcus Rashford, you get a Marcus Rashford. Problem is, though, you're going to have to put him on 200, 250 a week. But that's the position we're in because we aren't attractive. We can't offer, the Champions League. Like, if Villa did you see Marcus Rashford when he played for Villa? He was tearing up PSG.
Yeah, he's motivated. But that's the thing. How do you keep someone motivated that isn't that you can't keep someone on ball and chain? And like I say, if the things that demotivate him are the temptations of a night out, then London is going to provide more of that than even Manchester, right? And so I don't know. For me, listen, I'd roll the dice because for me, I'm about profiles. I like having versatility, and I like in players, and I like variety in options. And for me, I feel like if you have Savinho and Mathys Tel, and you have even if Solomon hangs around and stays, they're all kind of similar in their style, sort of light, tricky. There's a little bit of difference in some of their styles, but generally speaking, they're all clever in that regard. But you made the point about where's the fear factor in the front line. If you are Virgil van Disney next season and you're Liverpool and you're looking out and you've got Tottenham and you go, shit, who am I playing today? Richarlison. Well, I'll just fucking give him a chin in the first 5 minutes. He'll lose his mind and then he'll be out for the count. And then Solanke, who's scared of his own shadow at times. I think too much. You're then relying again. Tottenham will then rely on single channel outputs. I want two wingers and two players in for both positions on the wing. One of them that can do the tricky shit, that can take a man on and beat him every time. And I want someone else who can get on the back, be more of an inside forward that is the fear factor and the terror. Whether that's a Leao, whether that's a Rashford style type player, or on the right hand side you've got a Khannouss and you've got a Kulusevski if he's fit. But you need something else that you just feel confident that even if you're 1-0 down, if that person's on the pitch, all it takes is a second and you're back in the game, right? And I think that Tottenham don't have enough game changers at the moment. Now, there is a player out there that this guy doesn't fit that bigger, stronger profile, mate. But you mentioned him as the carpet, the carpet man. Would you say this the sofa name? Georgie
I think if you say his name
Mikautadze.
again, Mitova's going to start floating.
Georgie Mikautadze is a Latata player, right? He's a 9, but he's a little guy, he's thin, but he is exactly like all other Georgian players that have that sort of just incredible skill set, magic in their feet. They can float into different positions. He's obviously not the standard of Kvaratskhelia, but he's a little bit like that sort of Georgie Kinsky, if you remember him. I don't know if you're old enough to remember him back in the day in the 90s and early noughties, late 90s, I think, Kinsky from Man City fame. He's got that sort of style to him. Now, he can fill into a pocket. He's left-footed, right-footed. He's even good in the air for his size. For me, this is where I was waxing lyrical about this guy 2 years ago. He had a really good Euros. He was brilliant for Lyon. I knew that Lyon were going through their problems with John Textor's finances. He ended up going to Villarreal. He smashed it last year for Villarreal as well. For me, if Tottenham can get hold of this guy, I don't really know exactly how you'd squeeze him into that kind of front three, because he's sort of he's a striker, but he's not. He sort of hangs off the left.
False 9?
So, kind of a false 9. But in terms of getting into the pocket, man, just floating, you could almost see him being in a PSG system. He's probably not a PSG standard player, but that front three where they just all float around.
They're all chop and change.
Just chop and change.
Like very Liverpool when they had Salah, Bobby Firmino and Mane. They're all constantly moved around. He got 19 GA last year in 32 games.
Who? Mikautadze?
Yeah, that so far, yeah, DFS.
Yeah, mate, he's fucking class, mate. He's class on a fucking stick. And like I say, it's always terrifying when you're bigging up a player that probably won't come. You can always sit there and go, he's class, knowing that you're never going to have to watch him. So you can talk about these sorts of players with the chat, knowing that in all likelihood it won't happen, and then he'll piss off to somewhere else in fucking Germany, and then he won't be part of the ongoing zeitgeist. But if Mikautadze comes, this is one of those things where Butler might be mudded forever if he doesn't land in the Premier League, because he's been talking about it for so long. But mate, I love the way this guy floats into the pocket. He's an absolute nightmare. He's like a phantom. You can't, and that to me is one of the ways that you can solve for the problem that Tottenham have of not having an obvious, like Mathys Tel is more of an inside forward. That some people want to see him as a 9. I don't. He's not really a touchline winger. Khannouss as well could sort of float inwards, but can also be a touchline guy. Savinho can float around. Maybe one option would be for Tottenham just to go flat 3, 4, flat 3, flat 3, and let the flat 3 sort of rotate, and then that kind of makes more room for people like a Conor Gallagher to be a participant in the team without having to be an out-and-out 10, because he doesn't have that creativity. Let the front 3 just float.
Where do you think Conor Gallagher's going to fit?
Well, this is it. I don't know. I don't know where he fits in this team. For me, I would like to see him be a bench player. I'd rather see him be in the 8 than a 10. I don't like him in the 10, Henry. Do you?
No, but then again, against Brentford, is it going to be Berghvall? I don't think Maddison. I think Maddison will probably play 45 minutes max. If this hip injury is bad, he's not going to play against Brentford. If he recovers, he's not going to play 90. So let's base it on the assumption that he's not fit. It's him but it's Gallagher or Berghvall.
Yeah, and you've already said that you're happy to see him go, right? I'm happy to see Berghvall leave. I think 60 million quid is insane money to be able to get for someone that's done sweet FA in the Premier League. I know he's a kid, but bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, no? You'd rather 60 million now. I'm serious.
No, it's good saying that.
Like you'd rather get 60 million now than see him not do it again next year and then try and sell him next summer and only be offered 30.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
has Berghvall done anything for you? Because a lot of people sit there and go, he's got so much to him, and I'm like, okay, what?
We've seen him in moments, haven't we? Like when he scored that goal against Liverpool in the first leg of the semi-finals against Liverpool. He had like a really good 45, 50 minutes. But again, like, I don't know. I don't see, if we were to sign a 10, he's probably fourth choice centre midfield for us. Like, the obvious two are going to start, right? Fernandes and Tonali. Gallagher is probably third choice, not maybe on quality, but he's on 200 grand a week. He's not going to want to sit on the bench over a Berghvall. And then you've got Bentancur, Sarr, and Gray. So, like, I don't personally. I think he'll go. If we got offered 50 million now, I'd take it. I'd take it and run with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll be honest, I would.
And what would you take for Pape Sarr?
30. Again, has he done enough to justify 30 million? Has Berghvall done enough to justify 50 million? But
no. I'd take 25 million for Pape Sarr. I think he's not needed for our style of football. You know, if you want to play possession based football, then you need someone who can pass the ball, and he's very good at retrieving the ball. You know, he's very good at interceptions and anticipation and covering blades of grass, but his passing.
But we need someone like Alex Scott. We haven't got anyone who can like get the ball on the turn and drive with it, and then play it between the lines towards the forward areas. Like we've got high tempo, energy level players. We haven't got a ball striker, a goal scorer, or a creative player. If you had to take Maddison out, we don't have any creativity in that midfield. What we have got is any energy and more rates than bloody Chelmsford High Street on a Monday night.
Chelmsford? Billericay?
Yeah, like,
what are we doing it?
Billericay, sorry. I said, wrong place. But like Xavi Simons, someone said, he's not back till January. He's done his ACL. And then again, he's got to go through all the rehab. He's got to go through the recovery. He's got to get back onto grass. He's got to get back into contact training. I'll be amazed if he's back fit by the end of Feb. Maddison did his ACL in last August? Against Newcastle. I think it was August.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Now we're sitting here looking at a hip injury. Kulusevski's been out since May last year. Like, all our creativity is broken. Is in A&E. And then we've got... If you could prioritise one position...
will come back anytime soon?
Nah. I don't think he'll be back until...
What month do you think he'll be like...
October.
He'll be brought off the bench in October?
Late September, early October. Well, you can't say late September because it's a bloody international break. So I think they'll use that international break.
International breaks? I thought we were done with them for a while.
No, we got a 3-week international break. 3-week. I know, it's a disgrace.
What's that for? The Europa League? No, the Euro League or whatever it's called. The League of fucking Nations.
Whatever it's called, the Nations League that no one gives a fuck about.
Jesus Christ. 3 weeks.
Hang on, I'll tell you the exact date.
You've seen this one? Big up to Spurs 1, 2, 3, 4-ish. Real Madrid have agreed to loan Endrick to a Premier League club.
Yeah, snap him up. Bring in baby Pele now, mate. Snap him up.
He looks like I put him on the thumbnail, but when I was looking up his picture, I was like, is that really Endrick? Because he looks like he's a bit chubster. He looks like he's a bit of a fatty.
Yeah.
He could easily become the next Ronaldo, the R9 Ronaldo. Like as soon as he retires, boop, like he looks like.
Personally, I'd take him.
Yeah, I'd take him as well. But where would you play? Where's he going to slide in?
Straight down the 9. The other 2 bums off the bench. Each starts against Brentford. Savinho on the left, potentially Khannouss on the right. If not, we'll figure it out. But you've got people are saying Endrick's crap. Like I don't know if you've realised this, Eugene, but they've got Kylian Mbappe. He ain't going to start any games, is he?
This isn't people. This is Eugene.
Okay.
Eugene's criteria for what isn't a player. It's very difficult to figure it out because he usually goes down the he's not prem proven lark, but then there's certain players that are not prem proven that aren't even that great that he's like, no, he's a baller. And then there's other players that are prem proven that he doesn't want. It's very difficult to understand Eugene's profiling system. It's a secret sauce that only he knows. But
so the international break, by the way, is from Monday the 21st of September to the 8th of October. So that can't be right. Then we got another 2-week one in November.
Period, then. You know, someone give me Endrick's numbers.
Who said that, Udogie?
Eugene, yeah, he's brilliant. Eugene, he's so valuable to the community. He's just always on the wind up. Oh, Scott M. So here's another one who's very difficult to please. But Scott M apparently Endrick is the line in the sand where Scott M is okay. Okay,
yeah,
Scott.
see, I remember old Scott M.
Interesting.
We were going back and forth like Nadal, Federer, me and you a few years ago in the comment section. It's like Wimbledon in its fucking prime. Right, 2026.
You got your stats?
I can't find this. Could someone tell me the international break? Why don't I just chat GPT it?
Don't trust that. In the meantime, whilst you're doing that, mate, let me get a couple of these super chilly chit chats done. There's loads of them backed up here. We've been going for an hour. I apologise for everyone that put these chats in early doors. Speaking of which, my man Box Kev, always here, always supporting, bro. Thank you so much, mate. Actually, we were over an hour late to getting to you, mate. I'm so sorry, bro. Very, very generous. Always here, mate. The initial super sticker train has been well and truly commenced and resumed.
You got a fucking train.
Yeah, the super sticker train, mate. Listen, you don't do live streams anymore, mate, but the super sticker train...
No, that's quality, that is.
Yeah, you got to do the... Yeah, exactly. You know? Here it is again.
Sorry, it's a 17-day international break, not 21. 17.
Yeah, but then... Oh, okay. What, between the last Premier League game and the next
20th of September to the 6th of October.
It's outrageous. It's ridiculous. No one gives a flying fuck about international football. Big up to you, Boxy. Thank you very much indeed. Chudini also in the house with a super sticker train. We're picking him up. Chudini, always here, always supporting. Big up to you, mate. Choo to you. Chudini, choo to you. Big up to you, bro. Barry Bandana says, I'm exhausted with hearing how the greatest strength of our nines is pressing work rate hold-up play. I want a nine that is an absolute shark in the box. Someone whose greatest strength is scoring. 100%, mate. I remember when Thomas Frank was talking about our strikers, and every player in the forward line, his first thing to commend a player on was their off the ball work. And I'm like, that is a sign of how terrified he is as a manager. I completely agree, mate. We're going to talk about Victor Osimhen in a minute because I want to get Henry's takes on Victor Osimhen because I think that could happen, right? It could happen. A user says need a captain, a left winger, striker, a 10. Heard Nottingham Forest wants Solanke. Okay, now would you let Solanke go to Forest? And would it be precursor?
I'd drive him there myself, mate.
You hate Dom Solanke, do you?
Yeah. So just to let you know, it's 21 days between Tottenham's games, so I was right. It's a Saturday. 3 weeks, by the way. We haven't got a game. Our last game in September is Aston Villa. Our next game is the 10th of October, which is Man United away. But yes, I would 100% drive him up to the City Ground myself.
Not a fan of Dom Solanke at all, no?
No, he's absolutely toilet, mate. Like, people seem to look at when they go, oh, but he's had a great season. Igor, whatever his name is, Thiago, the striker, Brazilian striker at Brentford, again, doing it at a team like Bournemouth, Brentford, Fulham, Wolves is great. But when you get that step up and there's more pressure, it doesn't always translate. Look at Eberechieze, right? We were going backwards and forwards, me and you, about Gahey, about Mateta, about Eze, about a load of those Palace players, a load of those Villa players. Eze joins
I was right about
my second team, which everyone seems to think. Toilet. Absolutely toilet. Morgan Rogers, I tell you this now, will not be the Morgan Rogers he was at Aston Villa at Chelsea. Because more pressure. You're going to be scrutinised more. There's a little bit more of this cuddly, warm sort of feeling. When you don't perform in 3 games at Spurs, that they're all over you like a tramp on hot chips. It's as simple as that. Like you're getting it from all angles, like bloody Riley Reid, mate. You're fucked.
Bonnie Blue FC settings once again. Let me just quickly, because I want to ask you about, you just mentioned Mateta there. I want to ask you about him in a second, because he failed a medical, didn't he, in January? But before you give me the answer, Cowboy Spurs says, why no merch store? Tell on a hill t-shirt wanted. All right. I could figure that out. I ran a merch store once. I ran a merch store. It like fucking doing it on Shopify, whatever. It costs like £100 a month to like host and all this other bollocks. And then I think I loaded up a bunch of like hoodies and everything. And I think one person, my man Nick Lazy 8, I think he spent like £150 on buying 4 or 5 hoodies and shirts and things. 2 of them got sent incorrect sized. And I had to go through the process of getting all those things reordered for him. And no one else bought anything. So I then shut it down because it was a cost centre rather than anything else. But I could certainly get Tell on a hill. 100%.
No, don't, mate. I bought, if you can't see what Ange Postecoglou's doing, you can fuck off Danny Emirates. And I sold about 6 jumpers. Don't, mate. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. You'll sell about 5 and it will cost you bloody hundreds to keep the store going.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Big up to Andy Bays as well. We put in the super sticker train. Big up to you, choo to you, Andy. Thank you very much, mate. Appreciate you, bro. And Andrew Burnett says, member for 6 months. Big up to you, Andrew. He says, FIFA covering Ugate's salary.
Yeah.
What?
He's on 120 grand a week, and if you get a big injury, FIFA will cover up to 120 grand a week.
If you got a big injury at the World Cup.
Yeah, so
really,
FIFA cover, you got his wages.
Interesting. Very cool of you to say that. Thank you very much. Didn't know that. Guys, don't forget, there's nearly 1,100 people here now. Big up to you all. Please do smash the like, smash the subscribe, and get over to Henry Talks Tottenham if you're watching on my side. And if you're watching on Henry's side, please get over to Spurs Talk Show as well. There's the link for Henry. Show some support, my man. To my people. Show some support. Let's talk about Jean-Philippe Mateta, mate. Not a lot of links with him leaving this summer. He obviously failed his medical to Milan in January. Are those injury problems behind him now? Is he fit for the season? What's the situation?
Bring him in, mate.
You take him?
Yeah, I'll take him. You can't sit there and tell me. If anyone sits there and tells me that Richalison is better than big man Jean-Philippe Mateta, you are off your head, mate. You're more pissed in Milan's mattress. I don't believe it. Jean-Philippe Mateta, mate, is up there. I don't. His stats last year weren't at the level of we've seen him at his best. Well, to be fair, 12 goals last year. Year before, 14 goals, 2 assists. Year before, 16 goals and 5 assists. We're talking about 20 GA seasons. Mateta's done that in the Prem for Palace. But again, doing it for Palace, doing it for Spurs.
Yeah, there's a difference. Again, the style of play, right? Like he's someone that's going to play in the counter, right? Like Palace will often sit back under Glasner. Do you think he might end up going to Forest because of Glasner?
I wouldn't be at all surprised. I genuinely wouldn't. I think they were looking at one point. I think there was links to like Lacroix before he went to Chelsea. But that Palace team, like from 3 years ago, they had Elise, Eze, Lacroix. Fuck me, like Elise. Like
that's some great players.
I'd take a punt on him as well. I'd bring Sarr to Spurs. 100%.
Yeah, I think Sarr's fantastic. There's no African Cup of Nations, is there, anytime soon? Like, it's going to be.
No, it's not this January. It's the following one.
But isn't it in the summer for the next one? So actually, it's 4 years until the next time. It's like, I'm pretty sure the African Cup of Nations is next June, or the June after.
It can't be in 2020. It is in 2027.
But it's in the summer.
Yeah, 19th of June to 7th. Core. That is going to be fucking hot, mate.
Yeah.
Jesus. They're going to need about 8 hydration breaks, mate. Forget. You're like an NFL game when the game goes out of play, all of a sudden you've got enough time to go for a piss.
Yeah.
19th of June to the 17th of July.
Yeah, but I think it's in South Africa, isn't it? So it's a little bit cooler.
It's not been sold yet. The bids are Botswana and Zambia, Nigeria and Benin, Senegal, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda.
They haven't even got a location. It's happening in 12 months' time.
Oh, mate. A referee blew the whistle in the 85th minute and then sent someone off for saying there was 5 minutes left. Honestly, the African Cup of Nations is one of the best tournaments for an entertainment and sporting value. Like, like the Senegal fans, like, they are absolutely, drums, they're rocking, mate. They're having the time of his life.
Yeah,
Go X9 edits, mate.
It's not a sporting
You've put about
spectacle,
the same comment about 700 times.
Who said what? What's done? Who's done what?
This, I don't know who this is.
Who is he? Talk to me. What are you talking about?
Go X9 edits.
What's he said?
Oh, just the usual shit.
Mate, you're on, dude. You're on, like, yesterday you fucking tried to send everybody to someone else's channel. Listen, bro, I think you need a little timeout, goats. I think you need a little timeout. You're acting up again, bro. You're acting up the goat. You know? What are you doing? Just chill out, mate. Chill out. I don't want to ban you, mate, because you're a regular in here, bro. But you're acting a bit of a Burke, Don't be a donut.
Do you think that African Cup of Nations
I want to play in the African Cup of Nations.
Do you think it will that will affect? I mean, if we were to sign Sarr, we could have Pape Sarr, Ismaila Sarr, Khannouss, or
Victor
potentially, Osimhen. We could have like 4 because he won't be playing until they'll miss all of August. They'll miss all of pre-season, Khannouss.
Yeah.
So,
would you take Victor Osimhen?
Oh, would I? I mean, there's the bare shit in the woods, 100%, mate. But again, I don't think it'll happen. He would be the second best number 9 in the Premier League behind Erling Haaland. He's that good.
He's world class, is he not? He's world class. He is up there with like his top 4 or 5 in the world. Like, you got Haaland, you got Kane,
Mbappe.
After that, Mbappe. Well, Mbappe's more of a left winger, isn't he?
Nah, not for Madrid. Ousmane Dembele is a striker. That's 4.
Other than that, he's sort of up there, and he's 5th or 6th. Like
you got who else? You got bloody
Ferran Torres.
Again, I'd take him in a heartbeat. Everyone's saying, "Oh yeah, he misses chances. He misses chances." Yeah, who's won a World Cup? Who scored in the World Cup final? What have you done, mate? You're sitting there. Richalison's got the ego of fucking Ronaldo and the ability of fucking Ronald McDonald, mate. All right. If you offered me Ferran Torres and Cody Gakpo as our final 2 signings, I would probably take it right now.
Yeah, but you take Victor Osimhen over Ferran Torres.
Oh yeah, of course, but I don't think that's realistic.
Why is it not realistic?
Because his wages, we're gonna have to pay him like 400 grand a week to get his 280,000 euro take home because of how high the tax is over here. The tax in Turkey is not. Like, I worked it out the other day. His wage. You
give him like a 10 million quid signing bonus, and then like just.
And you probably have to give him 50, 60 grand a goal.
Yeah, which would be worth it, right? Because if he scores 20 goals a season, you're finishing in the Champions League. It pays for itself. He scored 7.
So he's on 18.75 million euros a year, which has got to be what, 14 million pounds?
Yeah, so that's 300 grand a week.
So let's call it 19 million, right, for easy numbers.
It's 300 grand a week in pounds. But who's our top earner right now? Isn't Tonali getting 275 a week or something?
He gets 250 if he goes in the Champions League. He gets 275.
Yeah, but isn't Tonali getting more than 250?
No, that's what he gets. That's what he gets. He gets 240, and if we go in the Champions League, he gets 275.
Okay.
But then again, like,
sorry, just quickly.
I know
Tonali, he is not in the top 25/30 midfielders in world football. He's not even the top. I'm not even sure if he's in the top 50. Right? He's a very
top 50. Hang on. That's top. In terms of midfielders or central midfielders.
What?
If we're saying midfielder as a whole,
midfielders. Tonali is not in the top 30 midfielders in the world.
Yeah, then if you're taking DM, centre mid, and Cam into it, then yeah, he's not.
Even if you take Cam out of it and it's DM, if it's 6 and 8s, I could name you, if you gave me enough time, if my memory.
Name me 10 8s in the Prem right now that are better than Tonali.
But it's not just about the Prem, it's world football.
Okay,
right?
let's say top 5 leagues.
Well, every midfielder at Real Madrid is better than Tonali. Every midfielder in Barcelona is better than... so you've got 5 midfielders in Barcelona and Real Madrid that are better, right? 100%.
Tchouaméni, Camavinga...
Pedri...
we're not including Bellingham because he's a 10. Pedri, Gavi, Rodri when he eventually goes. That's 6.
Yeah, that's 6.
Man City. Is he better than Elliot Anderson?
No.
Okay, so Elliot Anderson.
You can make an argument that Adam Wharton's a better midfielder.
Okay, that's 7. Federico Valverde. Bruno.
In terms of more valuable because of the homegrown thing, right? You could make an argument on that one. I think you could make an argument that Zubimendi. I think you could make an argument on.
Well, don't say that. Fucking hell, you'll be getting loitered like I fucking do.
Yeah, it's a fact. You can make an argument. Declan Rice, obviously.
Bruno Guimaraes.
We're up to 11, and we've spoken about 3 football clubs. PSG, right? Vitinha, all fucking day long.
Neves. Fabian Ruiz, that's 3.
Yeah, so that's 14.
Yeah, like he's probably not in the top 30, you're right.
He's not in the top 30, but we're paying him 250 grand a week. Victor Osimhen, in the most expensive department of football, the most valuable part in terms of putting the goal on the back of the net. If you're going to have to pay him something similar, and we've said that there's maybe 5 strikers that are better than him. Sorry, like all day, every day.
Did you say Leroy Sané?
Okay, listen, guys. If you're getting hung up on Zubimendi, whatever, forget about that shit, right? You can go to fucking Chelsea and say Caicedo, Enzo, right?
Enzo Fernandez, yeah.
And
is Yuri Tillemans better?
We haven't gone to Bayern Munich yet. We haven't gone. What are we doing here? Okay, come on now. Forget about fucking Zubimendi for the sake of the argument. That's just an opinion piece. I said you can. Like, if you're making the argument that Tonali is in the top 10 in world or number 6 in world football, which is what I think we can all agree Osimhen is, then to me, the value proposition of paying Osimhen that money based on what we're paying Tonali, for fuck's sake, guys, this is the point I'm making. Forget about fucking Zubimendi, okay? It's not the point I'm making. Jesus Christ.
So Victor Osimhen has got, throughout his career, He carried Napoli with Kvaratskhelia to win a Scudetto, right? He's got 20-odd goals in 38 games in Ligue 1. He's got 20-plus goals in a season for Napoli. He's gone out to the Super League. First season, 30 games, 30 GA. Second season, 22 games, 20 GA. Like, the only thing you could say, which is a bad mark against his, not a bad mark, but the only thing you could say that is a slight concern is when the African Cup of Nations comes around, he is going to be gone for that duration of time. And because he plays for one of the bigger African nations, Nigeria, right, he's going to be gone. And he gets, yellow cards. He gets more fucking cards than Clinton's. Like, I've never seen any like for a striker, mate. Yeah. Last season, he got 8 yellow cards.
Yeah, he's trouble. He's trouble, mate. But he throws.
Yeah, but I like that. I like that
as well. And here's the fear factor. By the way, everyone in the chat that's saying now Butler's trashing our record signing, you're winding me up. You are winding me up. Okay, I'm not saying he's a bad player. We're all on board Tonali. I'm just making the point that a midfielder, of which there are 25 that you could make an argument, whether you agree or disagree, that are in the same ballpark or better than Tonali. You can't get to 25 on the list of strikers that are earning anything like what Tonali is and that are sitting there saying that they're better than Osimhen. I'm using it as the basis to justify the Osimhen story. I'm not sitting here trying to trash Tonali. You fucking idiots. Come on now. Don't wind me up, okay?
Morgan Gibbs what?
Different type of player, right? But like Morgan Gibbs White for me is, well, you can't compare Gibbs White because he's obviously creativity versus. Tonali's someone that just fucking presses like a fucking ironing board and his counter press is winning the ball back and gets the fuck. he's just about getting the ball back and handing it over to someone else to move it forward. And he's one of the best in the game at doing it. And in a De Zerbi system, it's insane. I shouldn't feel like I have to justify the Tonali's the signing here because I'm not in any way criticising it. I'm happy he's here. I'm making the argument that Tottenham, if you're watching, if you think that 285 grand a week plus a 40 grand goal bonus or whatever for Osimhen is too expensive, but you can justify Tonali, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? You know, Henry, it's not, you understand where I'm coming from, don't you?
Yeah. Like, I think people naturally get cut up as soon as you mentioned one certain player.
But I mean, where would you? By the way, I actually think that Fernandes is a better talent than Tonali. I'm just gonna put it out there. I actually rate. I'm more excited about Fernandes.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And yet, you probably wouldn't put Fernandes currently in the top 40 midfielders in world football. But I'm actually more excited about him. So again, I'm not still criticising anything here. I'm just trying to justify Tottenham.
One thing I will say though is
money on the guy.
They are both very, very talented players, but they do a very, very similar job. So in certain games, when we are playing a low block, we are going to look to that person, Maddison, and when he's not there, we aren't going to... I'll give you an example, right? The opening game of the season, I expect Tottenham to have between 55 to 65% possession. I think we will dominate the ball.
In most games, yeah.
Yeah, but the Brentford game specifically, they will set up with that counter, with Kevin Schade, with Thiago, ready to pounce. If Maddison is not available, what is our midfield three going to be? Fernandes and Tonali.
And Gallagher at the moment.
Okay, so then Brentford will be sitting there going, whatever the Irish manager, I can't remember his name is now, they've got, will be sitting there going, right, just counter them. Because they won't be able to break us down because they haven't got that person who can pass between the lines.
Yeah. And by the way, everyone
when Kate talks about Morgan Gibbs-White, he ticks every single box.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He does. Or someone like I say, a cheaper version that I think will be just as big. I genuinely have. I'm not just sort of saying this now because if people go back and watch the tape, like last year, I wasn't on board signing El Khannouss because I didn't think he'd done it. But he's gone from the Championship to Stuttgart and smashed it out of the park. And I watched him. He's built out, and he's more interesting now to me. And he cost half the money. He'd cost a third of the money as what Morgan Gibbs-White would do. But I don't know whether money is a problem right now for Tottenham. It doesn't sound like it is. But there's another story that was out today, mate, which I put out on my video. Again, I'm not trying to jump around. I do want to stick to the midfield and the forward line here for the next part of the conversation. But just for argument's sake, have you seen that the Romero money, like if we're going to sell him to, it looks like Atletico for about 40, according to reports this morning from decent outlets, Tottenham are looking at getting Scalvini from Atalanta in place of him, right? Let's just take a slight segue down the park here.
Hang on.
What's your thoughts on
another centre back?
Another centre back, yeah. So he goes and you bring in Scalvini, who is another ball playing, really clever, classy young centre back from Atalanta, who's played a few games as a right back.
Who's tweeted this out?
It was on. Hang on, let me get it and find it.
Was it Spurs Watch or Spurs Express?
Spurs was the Shields Gazette talking about it. According to the Sun newspaper, Chelsea and Tottenham are front running the race for young defender. Give Me Sports also talked about it. He's 6'4", right? He's a monster, but he's a really clever passing player. He's also
so we're going to have this new
Ali Gold's outlet said it. It wasn't Ali Gold that wrote the story. It was someone else. Then
surely Danso's going.
Yeah, it would be, and that's the conversation I was having this morning. I wanted to like.
I feel a little bit like hard done. I feel like he's been like dealt quite harshly from us. Like Danso, when he has played, other than forget that red card, right, against Chelsea. No one gives a shit about pre-season, right? It's important, but it's not really the grand scheme.
Did you see De Zerbi's face when it happened?
Yeah,
it was like that.
Yeah, but ultimately, Jason Love is
really
a big fan of him.
I like Kevin Danso. I rate him, but I think everyone fell in love with what he did last season. He was a monster in the air. He was very secure. Didn't give too much away. However, it was for a Thomas Frank style of football. Can anyone remember a time when Kevin Danso has threaded the ball through the eye of a needle and got it up the pitch?
But again, we've only got one centre-back who can do that. Van der Ven isn't great at passing. Romero...
Senesi is, and Van Hecke are. Both of those two guys.
Okay, so what would you say going into the Brentford game is our starting centre-back pair?
Van der Ven and Van Hecke.
Yeah, but I think last season, Senesi was better than Van Hecke.
Yeah, same.
And I feel like...
Senesi was insane last season. It's insane.
Do you think there's a chance we play Van der Ven left back?
Or maybe a back three. Johnny was telling me on the phone this morning that our mutual friend Gary, who works at the training ground, Gary told Johnny that they were at the training ground today and they were practicing back three all day.
So who's in the middle of the...
Sorry, that would be yesterday, I think. Must have been yesterday then.
So Van der Ven in as the central centre-back.
Van der Ven is the left side of the three. Or I don't know, to be honest. I didn't get the detail on how that... But you know what?
It makes sense to have Senesi, Van der Ven if anyone gets past, and Van Hecke.
Yeah, but you know what though? Micky Van der Ven, did you pay attention? Like when we had Igor Tudor and we played a back three for those 3 games, Van der Ven against Arsenal... I was at the game, right? And Micky Van der Ven didn't have a fucking clue where to position himself when Arsenal had the ball and they were all over us. Like, Bukayo Saka was terrorising Jed Spence, and it was right in front of me. Obviously, I'm behind the south stand. It was right in front of me. And Micky Van der Ven was sort of standing on the left line of the penalty box. And there was no one near him, and he didn't know whether to go and support Jed Spence or to step back and be. And he looked like a fish out of water. Like he didn't know how to play the back three system, which is understandable to some degree because if you haven't done it, you haven't done it. But so like the idea of playing a back three, if Micky Van der Ven's supposed to be the left side of it, but I don't know if you'd imagine maybe that Van der Ven would be the middle of it, but then you want the middle of the back three to be the guy that can step up and play sort of DM roles as well at times. And so like I don't necessarily, I mean, unless you play the back three with a sweeper instead where he just steps back and does the defensive work. But I don't know. I got no fucking clue, to be honest. But either way, the rumours are out there that Tottenham are looking to replace, like spend the Romero money on a replacement. That's the rumours today. Coming from Football London, which is like it's not like Give Me Sport or fucking Caught Offside, who make shit up. You know, and Scalvini.
Mate, listen. Don't worry about transfer rumours, speculation, or as you would say, news, views, and clues. Yeah. If there's a story, there's a way, and if there's a way, there's a video.
I'll talk about them regardless. Like I'll talk about it like it's fact regardless. But Scalvini's 6'4". He's 22 years old. He's a monster, but he's also a really good passer. Like he's a very, very clever player. So,
would you not rather put that money on like something else though? Like I'm okay with keeping Danso as our 4th choice centre back. I'm more than happy with that. Like we've got bigger fish to fry in it.
If Van Hecke gets injured like tomorrow and he's out for a month, or he's out for if he does his ACL or something, are you okay with Danso being the starting centre back on the right hand side?
I think he'll still play Senesi. I think it'll be Senesi and Van Hecke.
No, I'm saying if Van Hecke gets injured,
then it will be Senesi and Van der Ven.
Senesi will play on the right of the back four.
Yeah. And then if he gets injured, what I think he'll do is probably play Robertson at left centre back.
We're fucked then, aren't we? We've got more left.
Yeah, but like we're playing 1 game a week. The likelihood of an ACL is significantly, reduced. It's a lot slimmer because we're not playing 3 games a week of Champions League in between. Okay, we played the League Cup a little bit earlier, but we haven't got the demands of travelling around Europe, going to the arse end of fucking wherever to play a team that's on a flipping Sunday League pitch.
Yeah, but an ACL or something is like, or even like a hamstring. That's not necessarily wear and tear. That's just like something that goes, like you land awkwardly.
Yeah, but that could happen. That could happen to any of our players at any time. The missus was talking to me the other day about what happens if, like, talking about like putting money away for a rainy day, and she goes, "Oh, what happens if the house gets hit by lightning?" And I'm like, "Who the fuck do you know who's that? Who do you know that's ever? I don't know anyone struck by lightning, right? Your house being struck by lightning. We don't live where it's hurricane season in Florida, where you've got alligators in local people's swimming pools. We live just outside London in a little area. Like, relax.
Reminds me of that story. I remember reading something in the online like a few years ago about the luckiest guy on Earth who survived 4 plane crashes. I'm like, is he the luckiest guy on Earth or the unluckiest guy on Earth?
That's the soldier. Joe Rogan was talking about him. Yeah. Didn't he survive like a helicopter crash, 2 plane crashes, a bullet to the head, shot in the bollocks? Like the geezer's body has been through more than fucking Jesus Christ, mate. Like somehow he was still alive.
I don't know that guy who's been in 4 plane crashes. He might be the luckiest guy in the world, and I'd love to know what his lottery fucking number picks are for next weekend. But I sure as fuck don't want to see him getting on the next plane with me. So like on that basis, like I don't know. I don't think that you can call them luckiest people on the planet. But with regards like the random shit that can happen, 100%. Like obviously you can't factor those things in. But do you think, the point is Kevin Danso's last season, was he remarkably good because the expectations of him are here rather than with Mathys Tel, everyone's expectations are up here through the fucking roof. But his expectations are here. He performed to here, did a really good job, but did it in a Thomas Frank system that encouraged us to be low possession. In a high possession team, do you want Kevin, in a world where Van Hecke got injured, do you want Kevin Danso to be your starting centre-back for the entire season?
No, you don't.
You don't, do you? So on that basis, then, are you on board the idea of replacing Romero with someone who's better, more composed centre back?
No, I'm not, because you've still got Senesi, Van Hecke, and Van der Ven, right? In terms of players who can play centre back, you've got Davis, Robertson can play there. You've got Van der Ven, Van Hecke, Senesi, Danso. So you've got 6 players. Our problems aren't at centre back, aren't at centre mid. You know, Sadio Mane's hairline. At the back, it's good. At the front, there's nothing. If we had a picture of Sadio Mane in front of a mirror where it needs major work here, that's what we should be doing to our team.
Okay.
You know, I'd rather put 30 million quid towards this Georgian striker who's got I've just watched a few of his matches last year, but he's not an out-and-out 9. He's someone that we could go, right, there's an injury at right wing, he throw him in there. That player will help. The same as Cody Gakpo. The one I'm not all on for is Savinho. I spoke about this yesterday. I don't particularly. Savinho doesn't float my boat. You know, he's not. I'm not waking up with. You know, you couldn't exactly fucking throw a hula hoop on me Corey because I'm that excited in the morning. Like he doesn't.
Throw a hula hoop.
Yeah, like no, the fucking big hula hoop thing. Not a fucking hula hoop like that. But you probably could sometimes when it's that fucking cold up there. Looks like a fucking moose knuckle at times. But I personally don't think there is. Like Savinho is a very creative player, but his end product is toilet. He has got 2 goals in his last 51 games, and we're going to drop 60, 70 million quid on him. I don't see the value. I see the value in dropping 70 million on Gibbs White. I see it dropping 50, 60 million on Rashford. I don't see what, right now, based on the pre-season, what Tel is going to do differently to what Savinho is going to do.
I agree. Fucking
Tel got more goals last year.
Tel got more goals than more GA than Somerville, who everyone fucking waxed lyrical about, who's gone to fucking Saudi Arabia for 80 million euros or whatever it was, right? Then Udogie, then lots of players. Then I'm trying to think of the other names on the list. There were so many players on that list when I looked at it, and I was like, Mathys Tel needs a little bit more respect put on his name for his output, especially when you look at the per minutes. He gets a G or an A every 2 games, let's say 2.4 games or whatever. But regardless of him, Savinho, for me, if you're an eye test guy and you watch his highlight reel, you're going to see someone who dazzles and does pirouettes and fucking dances on the ball and looks good and tries to nutmeg people. You're going to see someone who's entirely one-footed, by the way, and you're going to see someone who there's no output. If in this market, 55 million quid in this market is what 30 million was a couple of years ago, so that's fine. But I think people are going to be very, very quickly very frustrated with him. But I tell you what, I also think that most Tottenham fans are going to give him so much more rope than they've given other people. They don't give Odegaard the rope. They don't give Mathys Tel the rope. They don't give certain players any leeway. But for Savinho, for some reason, they're going to come in and make all sorts of excuses if he doesn't hit the ground running. And I don't get it, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm with you, mate. Like, I personally think that Savinho, he's the one that we're going after. Fair enough, if that's what De Zerbi wants. But again, I'd make the argument that, like, we were going all for him last summer, long before De Zerbi came here. So why is it that, is it just a coincidence that De Zerbi also is like crazy about this guy? I don't know, man. Like, for me, I just feel like, I don't know. I'm underwhelmed, mate. Like, when Tottenham finally get this one done, I'm not going to sit there. Of course, I'm going to bang out content galore because content's got a content. But I just feel like it's not. It just doesn't feel like it's a signing that's going to move the needle incredibly.
No, I don't personally. I don't really understand it. I know there's a lot of people in my comment section have been saying, "Oh, Henry's talking more bollocks." You know, fair enough. You know, I do talk a lot of bollocks, but what I can't get my head around it. He could come in with consistent game time, consistent playing in the same position. He could improve, but for that money, there's a name in the chat right there, Brahim Diaz.
Brahim Diaz.
Playing the 10, play out wide.
Can you give me 30 seconds, mate? I'm busting for a week. Can you give me 30 seconds? All right.
Yeah, go on, I'll hold the fort.
Yeah, good man.
Brahim Diaz, you know, I think he'd be fantastic for us. Really good African Cup nations of Morocco. How many goals did he get last year? Brahim. So he got 4 assists in 6 games in the the African Cup of Nations. Was it last year? Then he got 4 assists this year in the World Cup. He's on 140,000 euros a week, which is what, 115k, something like that. Personally, people are saying Diaz is not for sale, but like, how many forwards do Real Madrid want? They've got bloody Diamande, Vinny, Mbappe. Jude Bellingham plays in a forward area. Valverde plays out wide. Bloody Endrick. They've got they've got so many forwards. You got to do an accent, Henry. What accent would you like to see? Bring back the Spurs corner and get Will Stewart. Jesus, that is a name I haven't seen in ages. What's he up to nowadays?
Apparently you robbed all the money that Tottenham away were making. He's like the
Give me.
you gonna throw your chair? Oh. Yeah, apparently he robbed all the money that Tottenham away were making, and then did a fucking Bob Spur on everyone. You know.
So Will Stewart, the geezer that was making fishing rods, has decided to rob Tottenham away, is he? Jesus Christ.
He did that on the AdSense account.
There's never a dull day in this community, is there?
Yeah. He was a proper bozo, that guy. Proper.
Is he still making content?
Nah. No, he just disappeared. Because apparently their channels like was in his name. Because when Tottenham away had their first channel shut down, he said, "Oh, you can use my channel," but he maintained the AdSense in his name, and he was the primary owner.
Of course he did. Of course he fucking did.
They went for like a year, and none of them ever got paid, and the money was all apparently being stored in a bank account or whatever, and then all of a sudden Will Stewart just fucked off. Fucking outrageous behaviour.
That's outrageous. Outrageous is an understatement. Jesus Christ. I mean, what we had in the last few years, we had Bob Spur. Didn't he run away with a load of money and all?
Yeah, he stole like something in the region of like 20 grand that was, mate.
What? I thought it was about 5.
About a grand of it was mine, right? When he went into a coma, didn't he, with COVID? And
didn't Brian Daigle spend like fucking 4 months back here trying to support him, and then the geese just fucked off?
Yeah. The guy turned out and he came clean and said, "I'm a con man, and that's what I do." And he basically set up, because I was the one, I called him out, and people in my chat were going, "How dare you horrible prick," questioning whether this guy, because I was like, well, all that money, bro, like it was put into a PayPal account. It was called the NHS Bob Spur PayPal Fund or something, but it was a personal PayPal account. And then I was like, when are you going to be donating this money? And he was like, "Oh, soon."
Oh, I remember, because he was like, "Yeah, big up the NHS doing his stream." So
yeah. And people in my chat were going, "How dare you accuse him of theft? How dare you?" I was like, "I'm not accusing him. I'm just saying, like, fucking put up or shut up, bro, because it's been a year." And people donated to his Getting Back on His Feet fund. He also put up a fund for his, like, in the period between when he went into a coma and woke up, one of his parents had died. And he put up a fund, he put up a fund saying, like, a funeral fund for his parents. And everyone donated to that. And then it all came out in the wash when someone bumped into his sister. Or something. I might be
So this is why, like...
It's horrendous, mate. That guy...
I know people like to say about content and stuff, about I make content on different teams and all that. Like, at the moment, yeah, say whatever you want. But I don't get involved in no one's fucking business. I keep myself to myself. People want me on their show, they invite me. I could not be arsed with this YouTube beef. Like, you're sitting there saying, donate, big up the NHS, and the next geezer, he's sitting there with a fishing rod. He had like a studio. Like, he used to turn up with fucking sunglasses on. It'd be like 1 p.m. Like, mate, what are you doing? You're in your upstairs office with a fishing rod longer than my future and you're fucking in your background. Like, just give it a rest, mate. Like, what are we doing?
Listen, I think like the average person in the Tottenham community is a good person, a decent person.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of good guys, but there are like fucking few.
99% of people are good people that would never do that, but there's always a couple of bad eggs, and you have to remember that the only common denominator why any of us know anybody is not because of our geographical proximity, our social standing, our race, our colour, our creed, our religious interests. It's nothing. The only common denominator why you and me know each other, or this guy, or this guy.
We've been to bloody Norway together. We've been to Bilbao together.
No, of course. Like you get to know people, right? I'm saying like there's 1,000 people that are watching right now, and they could be from Tennessee or Timbuktu. They could be 18 years old or 80 years old. They could be black or white, rich or poor. They could be a Muslim, a Christian, and an atheist. There's nothing that keeps us at all in our bubble.
Well, what is this good fishing rod? Why does everyone keep writing good?
Oh, it's the old Jamie O'Hara thing in it. Good player. Good
that
player.
Fucking idiot.
Are you not a fan of O'Hara?
No, honestly, that show is absolutely elite.
I'm staying out of the beef, but he's a fucking idiot. Why don't you like Jamie O'Hara? What's Jamie O'Hara done?
No, I like Jamie O'Hara, but it's like that show as a concept is elite. Like, they are, both of them are really nice people. They're quite funny, but he knows exactly how to wind people up, Jason Cundy.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's a proper.
Like, he's a 58-year-old man, 57-year-old man, right? And he's got fucking Postecoglou mask on. Like,
tell you what, have you ever seen a hair transplant not take as much as his one didn't take?
Yeah, I mean, my nutsack.
I've seen a few hair transplants that look good. I've seen some that look bad. There is one that's just like
yeah,
it's a struggle.
He looked like the back of my nutsack.
This show is getting off rails. Let's bring it back, mate. Let's bring it back. This is the shit where you get hate after the fact. Don't want it. I try and steer clear of all the fucking dramas, Henry. But yeah, I get hacked every fucking week. So I don't do anything. I don't talk shit about anybody. Yeah, I get hacked by people that fucking have a proper hatred of Butler. It's very odd. Very odd. All probably because of my Daniel Levy take. Yeah, that's enough. Fucking hack him. Ruin his life. Anyway, let's move on to Pastures New, mate. Pastures New. So, what's your ideal finish to the transfer window?
Ideal is to bring in a.
No, name me a starting 11 for the Brentford game. Ideal.
Kinsky, Porro or Spence, depending on who's fit. I'm happy with either of those. I think it will be Van Hecke, Van der Ven, and I think Robertson will start.
Robertson ahead of
Udogie, yeah. Centre mids will be Tonali, Fernandes. I don't think we'll get Gibbs White. I don't think Marinakis will sell him to us.
Well, what's the price point for Gibbs White? Let me just pause on that one. Like, there's a price point where Marinakis goes
75 million.
Nah, mate. If you want Gibbs White, you're gonna have to make it a triple number. It's 100 million easy.
No, I think it'll be 75 million with like 10 in add-ons.
If you could go to Marinakis right now and say, I'll give you 50 million up front, 25 over the next couple of years, and 10 million in add-ons, all day
And a little
long,
cheeky Anne Shandy, he's taking it.
I don't think he is.
I think he is. If you're saying, right, we're going to give you 80 million quid.
But they want to pay 55 million for Berghvall.
Okay. So then there's got to be some sort of agreement there.
Berghvall that's done sweet fuck all, apart from look pretty and have a good potential.
We can't possibly
25 GA last season. Come on now.
Yeah, but we can't possibly pay 100 million for Gibbs White. He's not worth 100 million.
Okay, let's play the game. Name me, because when we did the midfielder game, 25 midfielders for Tonali, we were including 6s and 8s. Name me, where does Morgan Gibbs White rank on last season's form? Bearing in mind he's homegrown, how many 10s can you name that are better than Morgan Gibbs White in world football?
I'll do 8s/10s because he isn't always a 10. He can play deeper.
No, let's just keep, because otherwise we're going to name some of the same players.
Right, we did this together, yeah.
We're buying him for a 10. So name the 10.
Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, go on, Jude Bellingham. Yeah.
Elise, Florian Wirtz, yeah, he's better.
Is he?
Yeah, he's better. His ceiling is a lot higher than Morgan Gibbs White's. He might have had a shit year at Liverpool last year, but if you were to put him into a Barcelona or in a Man City side, or anyone who can actually play football other than that Max Branning fucking manager Arnie Slot, he would absolutely cook. Right, Palmer.
You think Florian Wirtz is meaningfully better?
Not meaningfully better. He's light years clear of Gibbs White, yeah, as a footballer.
Light years
100%.
clear. Okay, fine. Okay,
maybe not based on statistics last year, but when you watch him play, the way
first season acclimation process.
The way he can manipulate the ball in tight spaces, he's a much better.
If Florian Wirtz doesn't have a better season than Gibbs White this season, would you recalibrate your opinion? Because I think you give someone who's just moved into the country 1 year to like figure it out, right? Same. I mean, Xavi Simons, we're gonna have to wait, but like Benjamin Sesko took 7 months to get going, but the last 2 months he was really good. I think Florian Wirtz, for me, was shocking for the first 6 months of the season. He started to pick it up as we got into the second half, right? Okay, but I'll give you Florian Wirtz, Bellingham. Who else did you say?
Palmer.
Cole Palmer. Yep.
Okay, he's had 3 seasons at Chelsea. The first 2 were very, very good. Last year was poor. Okay. Yeah, I do think Morgan Rogers is better. Jamal Musiala is better. Elise is better.
Wait, hang on. Sorry, Musiala? Who was the other one?
Fernandes. So Jude Bellingham, Florian Wirtz, Palmer, Morgan Rogers, Foden.
Musiala.
Yeah. I'm trying to go through teams. Barcelona. Any of the Barcelona midfielders are better than him as a 10. I'm taking Pedro as a 10.
Yeah, sure.
I look at PSG. Fabian Ruiz as a 10 is better. Shirky's better. Dani Olmo is better.
Yep.
So that's what?
Yep. That's about 10, 11, 12 maybe.
People are saying, Kate said no way Rogers better than Palmer. No way Rogers better than Gibbs White. When they played each other in the Europa League, Rogers absolutely dunked on him and then got a goal and assist in the Europa League final. And just signed for Chelsea for 116 million. Bruno Fernandes, how are we forgetting him? Is Ferran Torres better?
I wasn't forgetting. I mentioned Bruno Fernandes 3 times. You just didn't pick up on it.
sorry, Bruno Fernandes.
Fermin Lopez.
No, he's not better.
He's more of a midfield, more of an 8, isn't he? Good player.
Is Eze better
than Morgan Gibbs White?
If we look at the Eze from Palace,
I think Eze is a better player than Morgan Gibbs White. Yeah.
Is Cunha at Man United better?
Last season, yeah, probably.
Also had a very good year at Wolves.
Last season, probably not. I think more, but again, it's a good point because Morgan Gibbs White playing in a team that plays a different style. But if you go back the season before last, I was talking to Wolfie about that. I mentioned this on my video earlier on. Morgan Gibbs White, Wolfie was like, Morgan Gibbs White's just a bit of a flash, a bit of a like a tricks and flicks kind of guy. But I think Morgan Gibbs White is built for the
He's
Premier
definitely
League.
very, very good. Like, I would take him in a heartbeat, by the way. Like, if you offer me
so
Morgan Gibbs White
he's
or
around
Maddison.
Top 15
Yeah.
pens, right?
And I don't think that's harsh, because ultimately, like,
but you're not getting any of those other players that you mentioned for less than 100 million quid.
Precisely. But those other, 10 to 15 players have done it at a higher level. Florian Wirtz was part of a Bayer Leverkusen team who won 48 out of 49 games, won the league for the first time in their history, won the DFB Pokal, and then other than a Lookman masterclass for Atalanta, they would have gone an undefeated treble. Like, Cole Palmer's 2 years at Chelsea prior to last year, Phil Foden's PFA Player of the Year. Like, there is a good argument for Rodgers because of his year last year at Villa. Has Morgan Gibbs White had the pressure of playing in a Champions League and then a Premier League game, or Champions League and a Europa League game, then a Premier League game, then winning that Europa League, then going off to a World Cup? Like, I do think Morgan Gibbs White would absolutely cook for us.
Yeah, he would.
But if you offer me Gibbs White or Rodgers.
Yeah, but Rodgers has gone for 117 million.
Yeah, no, that wasn't the question. The question was, can you name better players?
No, but the question before was, what's the right price for Morgan Gibbs White? And you said 75
80 million quid.
You said 75 plus 10.
Yes, 85 million.
Yeah, but every other player that you're naming that's better, that
are a
might
lot
be
more expensive.
Older, are more expensive, right? But that's what I'm saying. So, like, I don't know. Some of those players that you named also. How much did Eze? I mean, Eze was a release clause thing, wasn't it? So
yeah, 60 million.
I just think if you want to get Morgan Gibbs White and you go to Forest right now with 75 plus 10, you're going to get laughed away. If you go there with like 95 plus 5 or 10 or something like that, I think you might have a chance.
So where do we sit when we go? If we were to sign Gibbs White, that would mean we would have done close to £280 million on Tonali, Fernandes, and Gibbs White.
Yeah, plus another 50 on Van Hecke.
Plus another 60 million, 70 million on Savinho.
Yeah, so that's
plus the signing on fees for Senesi and Robertson.
Yeah, so
that's probably another 15 million quid there.
430, right? To get Gibbs White,
430 million, and we don't have a goal scorer.
Hang on though, but you've got back probably 40 for Romero by the end of the window, 40 for Romero, 20 for Vicario, that's 60. Let's say 20 for Sarr, that's 80. Hopefully 20 for Richalison, that's 100. You've also sold the equivalent of probably 20 million for Dragusin, that's 120. The equivalent of 25 for Lancashire, that's 145. The equivalent of 20 for Ash Phillips, that's 165. Solomon will be, say, 10, 175. Who else have we sold? Maybe Jed Spence for 40. So that's 215, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe my maths are a bit poor now. That's 215, right? Who else are we looking at? I'm sure, and Vuskovic, 60. So that's...
Yeah, we're probably, with add-ons, be looking at around 280, 290, maybe 300 million. But still, do you think it's worth...
Yeah, hang on a second, but that's meaningful, right? So if you can get to 300 million in outgoings, and we're at 410, I think we just agreed, if my memory serves me correctly.
410 million, though.
So, but that's 110 net, and you've got Morgan, and you've got everything we've already got, plus you've got Morgan Gibbs White and Savinho.
No striker, though.
So then, so 110 million quid spent, and you've got all of what you've got. You've got rid of all you don't need, and you have Morgan Gibbs White and Savinho.
If I said to you at the beginning of the season,
you could go and get an Osimhen, right? And then you end up at 220 million quid spend for this massive rebuild, 220 net spend, and you have got rid of loads of people. We haven't even included Berghvall, by the way. If you sell Berghvall, that's another 60 million quid off the fucking list. And Benson.
I think I worked it out. If everything goes to plan, we get 340 million in sales.
Okay, so 340. But hang on. So we got to 210. If you include Berghvall, that's 270. If you include Bentancur, I'm not suggesting we will.
And
But then
Sarr.
you get to like 300 million quid, right? No, sorry, we were already at 300. Sorry, we were already at 300 million quid in our potential sales when you factor all these things in. You're already at 300 million quid. If you were to let go of Berghvall, that's 360, 350, and then maybe someone else. You're actually then net spend of about 50 million quid. I know it's all like hypotheticals here, but you've got everything you've already got, plus you've got Morgan Gibbs-White and you've got Savinho. Like, you can still go and drop another 120 million quid on an Osimhen, and your net spend is about 150 million quid, which is not that bad for a Tottenham team. Not that crazy, but you've revolutionised everything. You've got your monster goal scorer. You have your left winger or your right winger in Savinho that apparently everyone thinks is going to be a fucking game changer. I've still got reservations on it. You've got Morgan Gibbs-White that really is a game changer in the 10 and can hang off the right-hand side. To me, you go and get Gibbs-White, Osimhen, Savinho, and then you sell everyone that we've just talked about. And you're about 150 million quid net spend over the summer, and Tottenham have revolutionised their entire first team and still have a hell of a lot of talent on the bench. I don't see it that bad. I think that's not a bad thing, is it?
I don't think it's bad at all. And I think if you said to every single person at the beginning of the season, we would do 400 million quid.
Sorry, forgot those two as well, by that's another 20 million quid there.
And then you got all the add-ons and a lot of these signings as well. There's probably another 45 million add-ons. Like, it's great business. The only thing people will say is, where's the goal scorer?
Well, Osimhen, that's what I'm saying. Like, you go and,
but I don't think that's realistic. So if we don't sign Osimhen,
you could afford to do it though. You could afford to do it.
We could, but we would.
And people,
do you think it's too much change though? Do you think there's too many?
That's a problem for sure. Because you saw what happened with Liverpool, right? They brought in 7 players last season, and they really struggled to get out of the traps, didn't they?
Yeah.
But we've already changed what we've changed. But if we don't change the front line, then nothing changes.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think in terms of like controlling games, in terms of being more defensively sound, I think we are going to be better. But unless if we're starting that first game of the season with Berghvall in the 10, Savinho, Tel and Richalison up front, I'm not saying I'm an ITK or anything, but I do think Cody Gakpo will become a Spurs player. And I think that will be happening very, very soon. I'll be amazed if midweek that's not a here we go. Because Romano has been saying about that for 8 weeks. Before the World Cup, keep an eye out for Cody Gakpo. 4 days ago, Cody Gakpo. And now you see the Man City sources are saying there's more clubs interested in Savinho. Are we just really... we've been interested in for 18 months. Surely Savinho would have been the first player we brought in.
Danny Kiriaku's just messaged me in the last 3 seconds saying, Shawnee, have you heard about the Kane or Osimhen news? It's insane. Danny, if you're clearly watching the fucking show, what are you doing? Just fucking drop the news. If I'd heard about it, I would have fucking spoken about it, wouldn't I?
Is he on a wind-up?
He must be on a wind-up. Is there anything out there? Is there anything out there about Osimhen or Kane? Or is Danny Kiriaku doing donut things?
Fucking hell, Henry Wong TV 1.
Mate, I listen. This guy pops into my chat very well. I think it was Henry Wrong TV, so he's obviously got another burner account. But I've missed the old Henry Right, Henry Wrong, Henry Left, Henry Wong.
I thought about, do I change Henry Talks Football back to Henry Right TV and then just bring it all back?
Yeah,
branding.
100%. You know, Osimhen to Atletico. Is that the news?
Nah.
Henry Thong.
They won't pay his wages.
Danny Kiriaku, speak now or don't be a bozo.
Rooney to City is here we go. Backup goalkeeper. I'd have taken him.
Yeah. Have you seen how much Aston Villa are looking to pay for Ruggieri from Atletico?
No.
He's so fucking bang average, and he's valued at about like 12 million, but apparently Aston Villa are looking to pay like 38 million for him. I was like, what? If he's going to make room for Romero and Atletico are going to get that money from Aston Villa to basically just fund the Romero deal, they're basically swapping an absolute bozo for, well, a different type of bozo and Romero. But Yeah, too many wind-up merchants. Henry, is he text me? Oh, he's text me again. Here we go. He's text me again. What's he saying? I'll tell you off air. I'm taking a shit, you bozo, and it's not news that's public. Can't say it on air. Well, then how the fuck would I have heard about the Kane or Osimhen news? Just message
These
me,
fucking
Danny.
sources are off of a fucking Sainsbury's shelf, mate. He's got mine sources.
Danny, what do you mean? Listen, he's texting me again. I wasn't asking if you heard about medias. I'm talking about news from your guy. From my guy? From my guy? Who the fuck's my guy?
Are you going to the Hoffenheim game?
Nah, I couldn't be bothered. No.
I bought a ticket yesterday.
Are you going, are you?
Yeah, 21 quid.
And it's tomorrow?
No, it's next Saturday.
21 quid?
Rat-a-ta-ta, rat-a-ta-ta-ta-ta.
Where are you sitting?
South stand. Quite like high up stand, but low down.
Why is it 21 quid?
Don't know. It's 20 quid with a £1.50 booking fee or something like that.
Oh, okay. Fuck, if you're going, mate, are we going to go out?
Well, have a Ruby and see how I feel.
I'll tell you what we can do, right? There's a bar, right? There's a pub. If you walk down from Seven Sisters, there's a cafe on the left-hand side, and it's run by this amazing African woman, right? She's a fucking legend, and her son is an absolute monster of a human being, like a absolute fucking lovely people. I went in there to after I picked up a little bit. I went in there for the usual pre-match dump. Right, and I bought a beer and I was talking to them, and it's a cafe, right? But they've got this. There's so much space there, like so much space, and the cafe was empty, and they bought out this whole sort of second room, and I said to them, "What do you reckon about if I was to, could we do like a post-match show in here where I get a couple of content creators in?" And we set up the front, and people could come in, and obviously, like you could get the money from the bar or whatever if we were to do like a $5 or a ticket or something like that. And she was like all over it. So maybe we could meet up, mate, and go and have a word with her and sort of come to some sort of arrangement with her that we can all we could go there and do a post match show during the season with a couple of beers. She could put some jerk chicken or something, whatever it is that they do in there. Meal and a pint included in the ticket including the price of the ticket. We can get you, Johnny, me, couple of people, Connor maybe, some of the usual people that hang about, and you get people being able to sort of call you an absolute mug to your face, Henry, same as me. It'd be fantastic, Be absolutely sensational if you're up for it. There's a couple of super chiddly chit chats. Let's do the super chats. Cyril McCoy says, "You speak with your hands a lot, Sean." All right, mate. No worries. I'll see you in a sec. You speak with your hands a lot, Sean. Thought of trying your hand at being a mime artist? I think gesticulation gets to the point. It lets you know. It aids in your ability to explain yourself. How well you're feeling. I haven't felt like being a mime artist, mate, because I talk too much. Big up to you, Cyril. Appreciate you. AV 2022 says, we need to enjoy this transfer window. We will never experience anything like this again. We're getting virtually a new starting 11 and many sales. Yeah, big up AV. I am enjoying the transfer window, but what have you done for me lately? This is the problem. When you get everything happening in a couple of days, it's like you go mental. Everyone's like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden it just sort of like peters out, doesn't it? And then you kind of going, but fuck, that was last month, mate. This is the problem. If I genuinely think that Tottenham Hotspur's team should figure out that part of the methodology of trying to satisfy people in 2026, and it's been this way for a long time, given that everybody is part of the Netflix and the Amazon generation where you want everything immediately, no one has to wait a week for the next episode of their favourite show, no one has to wait for a week to get their clothes delivered. Like, everyone needs things immediately. The best way to stagger a transfer window would be to have weekly purchases, weekly sales, that one a week, bing, bang, bong. It gives everybody the ability to really consume one story and diagnose it, digest it, talk about what's going on. And then the next week it moves on to the next one with a culmination where there's a scientific method where you can keep people satisfied as long as you drip feed it at a regular interval. And I don't think that I don't think that happens in football. I know it's more complicated because there's other things to do, but you understand my point. Big up to you, and he's come back in with another one saying Endrick on loan to Spurs or another club. Don't know, but if that is the bomber, I'm on board. I like Endrick. It would be great, but I don't think that's the bomber. A loan deal is no bomber. We've seen loan deals from people before that come with big reputations. They don't do very much, right? We saw it with old Kolo Muani, didn't we? And we've seen it with other people as well. The only loan deal that I fell in love with was João Palhinha, you know. And I feel like we treated him a little bit dirty by the end there. We left him hanging.
I think we're going to miss him next season.
Same.
Because I do he might not have the legs of a Tonali or Fernandes, but Jesus, he did score a few goals for us. I think he was our fourth highest goal scorer.
He had to go ask the missus if he can go. Please, mate.
I don't need to bounce in a minute because I've got a skip outside and I've got a garage full of shit.
We're going to round it off. So tell me, sorry, just last because I wanted to ask you that question and I interrupted you. Ideal starting 11.
Yes, Kinsky, Porro, Van Hecke, Van der Ven. I think Robertson will start. Fernandes, Tonali. Gibbs White, if we can get it done.
Okay.
Gakpo. Khannouss.
Say the word.
I mean, ideal would be Big Vic.
What is this? I want to play for
I don't think it'll happen, so I think we will sign this Georgian sofa.
Mikautadze.
Yeah.
Hey!
Pick up Toney. He said Robertson's shit, but Udogie can't stay fit.
He can't.
And
stay
Sousa's who?
He can't stay fit. I'd rather keep Jed Spence than Udogie. Genuinely.
Yeah, I agree. 100% agree.
Here we go. James Flower, mate. How much do I pay for that? For you, mate, it's double price. Double price. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments if you would be up for me trying to organise a post game curry and a pint, all in, and you get to see the live stream show from. We'll get Henry on. We'll get Johnny. We'll get.
I've got a friend who I'm going with to the Hoffenheim game. He'd be up for that. He talks more shit than I do.
Get on the fucking stage, couple of cameras, couple of lights, couple of cheeky lines.
Post match Ruby, we can call it.
What's it called?
Post match Ruby.
Post match Ruby. Yeah, we could do that. Tickets for 15 quid or some bollocks. We'll figure it out.
You get to have a curry and watch me and Sean do absolute nonsense for 90 minutes. Kate, you're bang on the money. You're absolutely bang on the money. The geezer's trophy cabinet is big. He's got more league titles. He's got the same amount of league titles as Spurs, and he's got a Champions League. Yeah.
Talk to me about your. By the way, if we were to have a curry, I'd need to be within about 15 feet of that toilet because my irritable bowel syndrome is worse.
Yeah, mate. Your dinner looked like Elton John's farted on it.
Listen, get over to Henry Wright. Henry Talks Tottenham. There's the link. Make sure you do get over and give the
video dropping very, very soon as well.
What's that?
We've got video dropping very, very soon, so stay tuned.
Have you? What's it about?
Georgian striker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Cody Gakpo. I think they'll be the two we sign.
Yeah, I better go and put a video out. Have you already recorded your video then, have you?
No, I've just literally messaged saying I need this and I need this. I'll see you in 10. But I've actually got a skip that's just turned up. We're going to go.
Big up to you, mate. Thanks for coming on, Henry. Listen, look forward to seeing your drop. I'll be putting a drop out as well very soon. And guys, I'll say massive thank you to everyone in the chat. Make sure you smash like and subscribe. Get over to Henry. If you are on Henry's, get over to mine. Smash the subs. And Henry, we'll do something on your channel. We'll reverse the order for the next time, mate. Yeah. Appreciate you, bro. See you guys. Take care.